We didn't decide who was opening. Hey guys!
That's you.
Thursday night, you know what that means, baby. Oh man, it's AEL with Beautiful Crow and Turk and Ice on the prod. It's playoffs. We're back. Me and Turk, we had a little bit of a thing we had to take care of last week. Two separate things, not the same thing. That would have been crazy though.
Turk was sick. I wasn't feeling so good. And Crow was having the time of his life. Who came out ahead?
I was having a good time, not gonna lie. But I did miss my AEL faithful. I did miss the League of Legends League. So we're back for another round of playoffs, and we have a pretty spicy matchup tonight.
Yeah, we do. Actually, I'm pretty excited to be able to see this one out here. Tilt Crashouts versus Syndicate Coke. So both of these teams, as far as I know, ended up 5-2 in the playoffs. This is our first time actually casting Syndicate Coke here too, Crow. So that'll be interesting. I actually get to see how these guys play and how they're really feeling for tonight. And then of course Tilt Crashouts, we had a chance to see them before, and we're looking forward to this, man. We're already into the quarterfinals, which is crazy. Season's flown by as we do move in here. Of course, we got Syndicate Coke, a spot in the top. Tried in the jungle, Thunder McBusters in that mid lane, Measurable, got the ADC, Tilted Towers, and the support role.
Yup. And going up against them in the opposition, man, this is gonna be so much fun. Full of Crashouts. I'm excited to see how they're running down Terps, Rat Queen Delilah, what's it like up there in New York City, Zed, who has massive aura, I have heard, KTL and Kakolin running out the things on the opposite side. This could be crazy. Like, I expect nothing less than 5 games. I'm sorry, I'm calling it now, boys. Lock in. We're going to be here for the long haul.
Yeah, honestly, I tend to agree. I really do think that this series is going to go all the way, and it's great. We're not delayed by any means. Just 8 minutes in, we're already ready to rock and roll into the draft here. We can see our first bands coming through here from Sync, and we'll see exactly what both of these teams are feeling. A couple champions have risen quite a bit in Prio. The main one that sticks out to me so far, Crow, is that Gwen. So I'm not sure if that Gwen's going to be something that both of these teams want to prioritize if they ignore it. Just something to take note of.
Yeah, something to take note of indeed. I mean, look, Gwen, pretty busted right now. Can't even lie. I don't want to play solo queue because of her. Also Nefiri, but that's just, maybe on the table. Depends on who grabs it first.
I think Nefiri's banned. I think Nefiri's banned for the rest of the playoffs. They put down in the season, but then they also, I think they did the same thing. They said York for the season too, and York just got his rework, so I assume that Nefiri's gone for the rest of the playoffs as well. So Gwen is the Gwen. I think Gwen. It's got to be Gwen, especially with Jinx being. Maybe it's not, but I'm thinking it's Gwen B1, especially with the Jinx off the table. You could see something like a Varus too. We've seen that I don't know how many times now. Crow too. So another option.
That's real. I mean, Varus is, Trident, like just on insta-locked. I mean, it's immediately like, hey, they're gonna pop up. I was like, oh no Jinx. Oh no, what do I do? Insta-lock Varus. I mean, outside of Syndicate, rather, I think it's Measurable in the bot lane. I do believe we have a slightly different roster. Yeah, so gonna be grabbing that one. Yeah, they like Varus. Both teams do, actually. So, I mean, highly contested, very highly solid pick to grab. And like you had said, there's the Gwen scouted out. It's the hover, not necessarily the lock-in just yet, but we're assuming that's going to be the Gwen just to, grab for the top.
Maybe that's kind of the neat thing with this Gwen now too, is because you do have that option to flex it this early on, so you can pick that up, hold that for longer, especially in phase 2 with red side. That counter pick's going to be nice, so don't be surprised to see that AD pick maybe something. I was going to say Tristana, but they hovered it before. I swear I was, but now we'll never know. But the Trist makes a lot of sense to me because you can throw it into that Varus, does really well in that isolation, also has that flex too where you can put it mid. So good openings here from both teams, not really showing anything but kind of getting those strong OP champs out of the gate.
Absolutely. Go ahead and grab the power picks before they get got. Name of the game here, as I was wondering what the next, focus would be. Syndicate Coke going to go ahead and grab that jungle. Yeah. I mean, just all reliable. It's crazy, like, how reliable this champ is. Used to be OP is all get out. I used to hate him. But honestly, just very, very reliable. Makes team fights pretty scary, depending on whose soul he decides to steal. But very nice lock-in. Solid team fight comp right now, with the Gnar as well. So Varus, Viego, Gnar, all locked in for Coke, and
is that going to come through? It is.
Yeah, you going to do it? Ooh.
All right.
Locking in the Malphite. All right.
Okay, so they want to index already into that. So of course we can assume at that point that Gwen's going jungle, Malphite's going to be going top, and Tristana More than likely, still, I'm guessing in that bot side, but of course, both of these teams with those phase ones have opened up pretty stock standard, I'd say, across the board. Two picks that kind of are interesting to me are the Gnar and the Malphite, but both of those champions are just going to kind of be farming it out themselves. Malphite wants to group up as much as possible. Gnar has really strong split push. If you play well around that Mega too, you're going to have that team fight as well, so we'll see how well they're able to time themselves around that Gnar bar. Sync overall has drafted themselves pretty solid though, I must say. I do like that Viego too. We're going to get missed on a comfort pick, which is nice to see. Pulled that out in the last series too, if I'm not mistaken, where they ended up going 2-0. So comfort across the board right now, Crow.
I do like this mid pinch from Crashouts right now, getting rid of the Silas, getting rid of the Nico. I mean, Nico could also be in that support, but we're not doing that. But now I'm interested to see what are they going to grab. It looks like they're trying to play for a counter pick for Zed in the mid lane. Generally goes for, you know, the assassin types, but also it's really good. The Ahri is not going to happen, we know that. So like I'm looking at maybe the Yasuo, maybe the Syndra, maybe the Ziggs, maybe the Karma. They can play a lot of different styles of champions there in the mid lane, but there's going to be the Yone to solidify that. I mean, hey, man's got more crit now, so I do not blame him.
Opens up a Galio. It's an option. Galio isn't the strongest, but it could maybe go well with the team comp. Could be a little trolling on that too. The Talia, I like the hover. Lissandra could be another thing that comes up to mind as well, so maybe you could look for that. More resets, but the Talia is going to be locked in there. You have quite a bit of CC to facilitate that champion too, so that's great. Hopefully on the support pick, we are going to see a bit more engage. I'd like to see that quite a bit here. So if Sync could round that out with a nice solid melee champion, something that could force fights in their own accord, I think that this... Well, I mean, this game one draft for both teams looks quite good, but I think for Sync, they've gotten exactly what they want here so far, and then at that point, it's just going to be up to see what Tilt Crashouts decides to do on this R5. The Alistar makes sense. Maybe a Poppy is something now that can come off the table. A Braum is another option too. I don't know. Lots of options here, Crow.
There are a decent amount. I mean, it's just at this point the frontline engage is the support. It is Alistar, blah blah blah. He's gonna pop the ultimate, WQ, flash Q, whatever have you. But the Crashouts are ready for that because they're gonna lock in. Potentially, yeah, they're gonna lock it in Renata here, Miss Renata Glass, and this is actually really dope because now it kind of indexes Coke's bot laner on the Varus. Maybe not necessarily trying to go for the on-hit build. Maybe gonna go for more of that lethality poke build. I mean, it's just it's scary because like you don't want to play into the Renata because I mean once the team fights get going, you have the Varus auto attacking, you have the Gnar auto attacking with the passive, you have Viego as well. It could be pretty intense. I mean, yeah, so you're gonna be like, okay, but they have Malphite, sure, but it's just really weird right now.
I wonder if the Varus is going to be going lethality with the combat. I almost feel like you kind of have to. I'm glad you mentioned that because it's a super important point. Like how accelerated. It's not even that you need him to necessarily, but how much gold is this Malphite able to get? At this point, you just want to stack armor. The only magic damage from Sync at this point right now is going to be a Talia. Talia is not a late game carry. She's very strong, don't get me wrong. She's really good in congruence with other champions that have CC, and you've drafted well around that. But if that Talia isn't ahead, then I think there's going to be a lot of problems when it comes down to it. Malphite could easily be that wall that TESC need here in this game one. How well can they play off of that? I'm not so sure. We'll have to see. But overall, I think both of these team comps are pretty solid. That R5 Renata is something that I wouldn't have guessed myself, but it makes a lot of sense. It's a really short-range team comp that they're playing into, the only exception being that Varus, which is why I think you and I were talking about that lethality. I think you should be going in that direction, but you can see all these mind games that you and I are kind of going through right now. These are definitely the things that the players are thinking. Of course, this is now we move into the quarterfinals, so this is best of fives. This is no longer best of threes. So this is your chance, right? We've all drafted comfort at this point. How well can we execute on the champions that we were hoping to get, that we did get? Looks like these teams did their homework as well with the Gwen Prios. So lots of things up in the air here for this best of five already, Crow.
It's going to be spicy. I already said I expect full 5 games. I'm not even going to front just because both of these teams are going to literally scrap to the death of them. And unfortunately, this scenario, the Crashouts have a better scrappy composition. I mean, we have perfect frontliners in the form of Malphite and Gwen. Gwen is a frontliner. Let's be real here. She's throwing down W. She's jumping in. Even off one item, she does not care. She's going to be DPSing and healing back everything. And this is just such a scary initiation front. You can't really fight this front to back, right? You're going to be looking for these interesting flank angles on the side of Syndicate Coke here, and that is something to beheld, and be seen as we are just waiting for time to tick down for everything to get synced up. But honestly, Turk, I mean, we could break this down like lane by lane. It's pretty intense, but I don't think we have necessarily the need to do that.
I kind of agree with you. I think the thing you really want to be watching is going to be mid lane. I think it's mid and jungle super important here for Syndicate if they're able to get that Taliyah ahead. I think we've seen Taliyah probably 50% of the games that you and I have casted together, and I say the same thing every time because it never changes. Get your Taliyah as far ahead as you can. Get the waves pushed out, roam, pretty much take a nap because you know exactly what's happening. You can crisscross impact any side lane that you possibly can, and ideally you want to be focusing bot. You've got a lot of setup for that Taliyah, for the Viego, everything else, but I think for Syndicate it's all going to revolve around that mid lane. How well can they execute around that? And for TESC, I'm really looking for that Gwen here. I want to see how well that Gwen can be piloted. Can you get that Gwen online? Is she as impactful as what we've seen in our solo queue games and all of the previous games that have been played in the pro scene too? Those are the two champions that I'm really watching.
One of the things I am a little bit interested in to see is the changes made to Yone, because I do believe he does get CC. He doesn't have CC immunity anymore on his E. When it snaps back, the CC activates after like upon snapping back. Knowing that there's a decent amount, quite a hefty amount rather, of CC on Syndicate Coke's team. It's just a matter of how they play around that, how they actually layer it correctly. Because I mean, if you look at the Crashout squad, the only actual CC they have is in the form of, well, 2 ultimates, 3 ultimates actually, 4? Yeah, just 4 ultimates for real. All really hard CC, and then the Renata.
That's it though, you're right.
That's really it, you know? So like they're really good. Like I said, it was gonna be really scrappy and forcing these fights, but the sticky potential, that's gonna be hard to watch. That's gonna be hard to see rather coming out from Crashouts, whereas Syndicate Coke, they're just literally every single one of these characters has inherent hard CC on them, and that could probably dictate a lot of these mid-game fights. So this early game is gonna be so fun to watch.
100%. Agency is on Syndicate for this early game. How well can they get that Taliyah ahead? Are they able to have that champion impact the rest of the map? And as you pointed out, I think rightfully so, tilt Crashouts, you're going to have a lot of trouble forcing fights when you don't have your ultimates available. So how well can they play around those ultimate cooldowns? Are they able to have Malphite group when they need him to? Or are they going to be losing 2, 3, 4 side lane turrets over the span of the game? Syndicate has that agency with that Gnar to be able to split push, to be able to group up when you have that Gnar bar. And TESC is pretty one-dimensional. If you don't have that Malphite there, you don't really have a front line. You have to be able to find those fights, or at least, very least, you have to be the first one set up to an objective. Otherwise, I feel like what you said is 100% right. Syndicate's just going to be able to waltz right in, pick any fight that they want, find and engage, get one reset, and then they've got their Viego off on a roll.
On a roll, indeed. That's scary to think about, man. Because like, if they get this lead, if that snowball starts going down that mountain, it might be a wrap early. It might be a little bit of a wrap that early, man. But yeah. Ice, can I throw it to break now?
Hey, is that it? I think that's it. I think we've hyped it. We've been told there's only a minute. What can we talk about for a minute, Crow? How was your day?
My day was stressful. I clocked back in after getting off of a plane just about 8 hours earlier, and I was tired. Hey,
you're jet lagged. You're jet lagged, aren't you?
I mean, just a little bit. They had me rocking around. Like my flight plan was ridiculous. But you know what else is very ridiculous, my boy Turk? Something I ain't got to talk about in a long time. I mean, I've been away, and I don't know who's been in charge of this since I've been gone. But like, I just want to take a moment to talk to you about our good friend Zen Market. You know,
I'm listening.
The one-stop solution for buying products directly from Japan. I'll have you know, they will help you buy items from over 10,000 different shops in Japan. As well, they like to place a little bid, a little gamba on your behalf. You know what I mean? And even better, the more you buy, they will put it all in one package and ship it internationally for you, which is why they're incredible. They provide excellent customer service in over 19 different languages, which is why Zen Market is used and trusted by over 2 million users worldwide. 2 million! That's a lot of people buying stuff directly from Japan. check the panel below the stream or click the link in chat. I know somebody's probably gonna throw up that command. Try them out now, and also if you sign up with the promo code Aegis, you'll get 1,000 yen off your first international shipping fee. So that's Zen Market for you. Go ahead, test them out, try them out. Even, while we're loading in the game, take a little gander at some of the shops, something you can get for, post-game time. But yeah, that's Zen Market for all your best and favorite Japanese items directly from shops in Japan. So I love it. We love it. You need to love it too.
If you like AEL, you like them. Big supporter of us, so we love it. That's awesome for them to be able to do it. Help basically do what we do, and then of course that helps everybody else in the scene too, as we do get ready to rock and roll here into Game 1. Syndicate Coke. We'll see how well they're able to pilot the team comp that they've drafted. You and I both liked it in this Game 1 here, so best of 5, lots of room to be able to play, but of course you want to make sure you get those jitters out of the way as early as you can. We just see a stock standard 5-point right now though, Crow.
Yep, no one's biting anything too crazy just yet. Just vibing. I mean, it's the first game, test the waters. Don't want to give up any sort of lead. So, just chilling for now. But, I mean, honestly, I don't want to play into level 1 of Syndicate Coke. That was not a fun level 1 to play into. But they will make their presence known. Queen Delilah, and then spot a few on this Jungle Gwen that she is piloting.
Just that ward being placed down just to be able to track that Gwen. Looks like they're going to know exactly where that jungler is starting. I think wisely so till Crashouts. Measurable. Hello. Okay. 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 He's watching. He's watching something. He's tapped out. Maybe. What do you think? No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. No. That's 25 minutes. Every turret down, 3 inhibs down. That's what I'm tapping out. I know that, but all right, here we go. Here we begin. Already see a little bit of trading coming in here mid lane, really just jockeying around this prio. Talia should be able to land that early on that Yone.
I mean, yeah, early game, first few levels, Zed is just going to be doing his best to get as much CS as they can. We do have the Talia, I believe, Thunder Busters. Yep, going to be playing a little scary. Just pushing up as much as they can. I mean, there's no real threat of the Queen Delilah gank just yet this early on the Gwen. Her gang patterns are pretty telegraphed, especially this early on, so can play as aggressive as they need to. We're checking around the other parts of the map right now. Top lane is going to be a snooze fest. Spot lane might get pretty spicy here in a moment. Just trading back and forth, getting whatever CS they can.
Yeah, especially with both junglers pathing towards that bot side. I'm glad you mentioned it though, that Gwen really for these first 2 clears isn't going to be looking to do too much, as you do see a Spada moving up there with that Narbar, getting some damage on Kakalin here. Nothing too crazy. But both of these junglers, you can already see them moving down towards this bot side. I think this is something you and I both expected to see. Lots of CC there for the side of Syndicate. They can force a lot of plays with that Alistar level 3. Make things happen there quite easily. But Viego is definitely going to want to get that agency going here early on as much as possible. Any gank pre-6 is a great gank for you.
Yeah, just something, just to stir the pot a little bit. The question mark Zed against Zed is actually so fun. Oh my god. That's some mind games at work here. The extra layer there. Ooh. We'll hop skip. Just a little tactical repositioning. But yeah, early on, just gonna try and go for that CS, get the level advantage. I really don't expect too much to happen from either squad just yet. As, oh wow, Zed's eating a lot. That's just Nate for the beast. Actually, it's not to pop the E to go in. Gonna get a few bit of damage down, get the shield, jump back. Not so much a more favorable trade for him, but it is some lasting damage.
Especially with that extra pot being available for that Talia. You can see in that extended trade, definitely going to come out ahead here. Kakalin moving up here, looking to trade a little bit on a Spada. Has to jump away, but doesn't quite have the move speed.
Yep. Spada is going to run and gun, Now we can get the turn back. I believe the W passive is there. But man, just a lot of damage eaten on Kakalin. Early game tanks aren't really tanks. Tanks don't really become tanks until at least an item, so abuse him while he can is gonna go mega, but here is Mist. Looking to jump in. Kakalin does have flash, does burn it there to get out. Very nice resource burn from both top laners here. Zed, nice with the knock up and snap back as well.
Yeah, Flasher Flash going to be burned there top side. Mist is showing top as well, so of course they should know where both of these junglers are realistically. They did see that Rat Queen Delilah did start top side, so second side of those camps, second rotation now coming up. Both these junglers are once again going to repeat the same thing. Path down towards bot, like to see if they can make any plays. As you do see Zed in a bit of a trade here. Does need to be a little careful though, that extended trade from Thunder McBusters. You can see it hurts, it hurts.
If he dodged that last Q, he would have been fine, but I thought thick old rock, so of course it's not going to be the case there. Yeah, I mean, it's close trades. Oh my god, Kakalin, man after my own heart, I swear. First item back, gets a Bramble Vest and TPs directly in the lane. Knows what he's doing, trying to nullify that matchup early on. Spada is not going to be too happy about that. Trying to counter with the Null Magic Mantle of their own, so maybe rushing the Merc Treads. But yeah, very smart, very, very smart buy from Kakalin.
Yeah, that Bramble, only 1100 gold, too. You can get that quite quickly, as Kakalin did here, and that's going to change and warp this game so much for him in this top side. It's going to buy him that much more time with it, and at this point now, Espada really does just want to push that wave as fast as he can, because he really can't trade too much on this Malphite, at least not in theory. He could call him walking up, and I think he knows this too.
Yeah. No gank just yet, but just this upfront damage. Oh my god.
Here we go.
Slash Q, wait a minute. Battle by the bay and the river, I should say. Over the dragon. His bow is going to go in. Gets out for a moment. We'll show them all. Pops the W, but it's still going to be first blood. Actually, in the top lane, apparently Kakalin got the 1v1, and the rest of his team's going to follow suit, packing up bodies and putting them in the bags, and they're going to take a dragon for it as well. Took the Crashouts and decided to make a massive cross-map play that works out in their favor.
Yeah, crazy too that Kakalin gets that solo kill. Obviously, you can see that his ult is on cooldown, so he would have just hit that 6. He would have pulled trigger quite quickly, and the Gnar's going to die for that. But yeah, we see the same thing down towards that bot side until Crashouts is going to come way, way, way ahead in that sequence, sending themselves a dragon off of that too, and it looked pretty good. Actually, initially there, Crow, you saw Retail Row on the alley. He just burned that flash to gap close as fast as he could on the Tristana. Actually interrupted the Tristana jump in the process too, but it took them so long to kill. We'll show them all. And by that point, you could already see Gwen had that Conqueror stacked. The rest of the damage came through, and till Crashouts comes out ahead like bandits.
Thieves in the night, if you will. Oh man, I was saying there wasn't going to be too much action early, but looks like the Crashouts wanted to shake things up a little bit. But tiny gold lead now as Dusty Mist decides to get a little bit of get back.
Cheeky. You love it. You gotta love to see it. That's what dreams are made of, by the way. Right there. When you pick Renata, you visualize that right there.
That read, oh my god. I was like, because I was wondering if that was the We'll Show Them All Buster Ultimate or if that was a Renata Q. It's because both have the snapback, but and We'll Show Them All isn't even 6 yet. So yeah, amazing from some frozen spuds there. Not quite French fries yet.
Not quite. Not just yet. Air fryers good though. You have an air fryer?
No, I actually have a vendetta against air fryers. That's a story for another time though. There's a little bit of action happening. It looks like, yeah, Syndicate Coke is just trying to push up in the lane and reset a little bit. I mean, the proactive moves need to start being made now at this juncture. We are here 8 minutes in. So you're looking for roams to happen as, oh, I say that as Colin. Oh my goodness. Play was attempted to be made. Another Q to dissuade, but great avoidance off the flash. Frozen Spuds though will take a bit more damage as, oh man. Measurable is taking a chunk out. We'll show them all. Not looking too great either.
Yeah, fairly even trade, but we do have backup on the side of Syndicate. You can see Talia hovering there, moving back to lane now, though, recognizing that she probably should just catch that mid wave that's being pushed in there by Zed, and Viego around the area too, and still a lot of attention being applied towards this bot side here, but that level advantage is pretty big. Measurable just now hitting level 5, while We'll Show Them All has been level 6 for at least about half a wave here, so bit of a difference there, and I think that Renata's paying off quite well too, honestly. I feel like at this point right now to be able to engage as that Alistar, it's that much harder. We could see the ult there from Espada. No real damage though, Crow.
Yeah, but it's just not going to happen. I mean, the early Bramble plus cloth armor, there's no damaging items on Espada at all at this point. So the max health damage is as much as you're going to be able to try to, the percent health damage is as much as you're going to be able to try to get done with the W passive, but it's just not going to happen early on. So now this is, we were talking about, hey, don't let Kakalin, get even or ahead on this Malphite early, because it's going to become a problem snowballing into the mid game. Here we are near 10 minutes, and I mean, he's in a very solid spot right now.
There's so much value from that Bramble and from the Cloth Armor too, with only that one AP source, and you can see this contest right now. I think wisely so, Mist is going to choose just to back off from that top crab. No real top prio. Mid lane's reset right now with no TP. I think it's perfectly fine to let that one go as he just moves into his Grom.
Yep. It's so interesting. Rackwing Delilah has been so quiet this game except to pop down towards the dragon and get that kill, then dip back out. Whereas Mist, we've seen him on the map, but hasn't, you know, tried to make any ganks happen. And I had said in Champ Select, the Syndicate Coke's team, full of hard CC. So you would think it would allow Mist to have an easier time with ganking, but he's just been so focused on farming and so focused on keeping up that we just have not seen him affect any lanes, honestly, and I think that's kind of to the detriment of this Coke lineup.
It does feel like it a bit, doesn't it? He's been trying to keep up with CS, and unfortunately, it just isn't quite the case. Down, what, 3 camps, if not 4 camps at this point right now, and Queen Delilah's just done a good job on this Gwen so far. Pretty like, I mean, definitely an eventful early game, but nothing too crazy there from side of Tilt Crashouts. Like, you're perfectly safe in this position. You're more than happy to continue to scale up here. You know what your win cons are. You have your Gwen quite strong. Your Malphite's going to be fine in that top lane for a long time now, too. Yone's got a kill. Like, you have your win cons already being established. Your bot side's safe. Like, there's so many things that are going well for them right now, Crow.
Yep, it's all the eggs in their basket currently. This is interesting. Aside from that one dragon fight and the, you know, top lane split, it has not been the craziest of early games like I was kind of expecting from these two. The temperament is there, but it feels like we're almost at that bottleneck where things are about to explode. Is now spotted getting some damage. So it's the ultimate onto Kakala, who does get under tower range, but he's trying to walk out. Might actually lose out on the trade. Okay. Does have flash. There's a flash to follow, and yeah, Kakala's gonna flash and ult. I mean, rather just the ultimate, but also on the bot side, they get the dragon as well. Interesting. And now Zed's here to maybe clean this up. There is no flash available for Espada, but it's a speedy little Yordle. Could easily get away. Oh my God, Zed's diving under tower. He really wants his kill.
Huge.
Does get it and snaps back without dying under tower. So a 1-for-1 grub for dragon. Complete cross-map trade, but that was so interesting. I did not think Kakala was just going to outright lose the 1v1.
No, taking that extra turret shot just made the biggest of differences there, and he wanted to hold on to that ultimate, didn't want to have to burn it. For that, I can understand, but if you're going to die in the process, that's a bit unfortunate, and that's exactly what happens there. He goes down, and at the end of the day, fortunately, they do get a spotter from a nice roam from Zed there, and he's able to pick that off and get the Nerf Flash in the process. That's a fantastic sequence there to be able to pick up there for them. So that's exactly what they need to be able to do. You can see right now, Mist just taking his reset. He's going to get back on the map, spend his gold. He might even have his first item here, which is exactly what he needs. 12.5 minutes in. Just Triforce.
Yep, okay, and yep, okay, back to get a Triforce, pretty easy peasy. We do see Kakala with the fully completed Thornman now. I do think that makes a little bit more of a difference, but no, I mean, just the health damage that Spot is able to throw out with just only having a Phage and a longsword, that's hilarious. So we will see, you know, we'll have to monitor rather what happens now for these roams, because no towers have fallen just yet. I think the closest one that has the most damage on it for any of them might be that top lane tower. A little bit, things have been very, very quiet in this bot lane, which has been a little bit rumbly earlier on, but not quite the case here. Is now you see a Spotted getting a bit into the head of Kakala and pushing them in a tad bit, and being on the bot lane, Spuds, and we'll show them all. Not really getting too much done. It's just wave trading back and forth, waiting for somebody to make a mistake. His turret plating's about to fall. That's a lot of gold still left up on the table that hasn't been collected yet.
Yeah, tons and tons of standing gold at this point right now. Looks like most of the neutrals are going to be where these teams are going to want to play around. Retail Rogue going for it, just not in range of that knockup, unfortunately, there, and not really punished for that in the process. That's A-okay at the end of the day there. You can see lots of pressure, lots of jockeying. Beautiful buffer.
What a buffer. Oh. Hey, they got hops. What can I say? But, man, as you were saying, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it really is. The game should be slowing down in theory right now. You're still seeing lots of trading happening, but to me, it's just jockeying over who gets pressure, who gets the first setup on this dragon, because at this point right now, both teams want a piece. No real like WinCon's decided at this point. Look at that damage there from Gwen too, by the way.
No, they're fine. It's a bait. It was a bait all along. It's a trap has been laid by Syndicate Coke, and they're springing it. How hard can they fight out of it? It looks to be pretty hard. They want to get one kill. Oh my god, the W was good, lasting long enough for Delilah to get something in the shutdown.
No way.
The Busters. Ooh, gets pulled back into it. Flashes over. Flash to follow. Miss, making sure all 3 members in that scrap from Tilted Crashouts will fall. It's a 3-for-1 at the end of the day. Oh my goodness, Turk, just like that, it's just about all tied up.
Kind of weird. Kind of weird. You hype something up, and then before you know it, it's the exact opposite of what you were just hyping up. And at the end of the day, there, honestly, it just looked like a bit of an overextension there, Crow. Rat Queen Delilah, you have lots of damage. Retail Row has the ultimate though on the Alistar. He buys so much time. Thunder McBusters on the Talia and Mist both roam down, and they had the numbers advantage. They take the fight. They clean 3 up for their troubles.
Yeah, that was actually insane. The trap was laid for both. We'll show them all in Frozen's Buds. Great gank, great roam timing from Thunder McGusters and Mist rather. But yeah, Rat Queen Delilah, they were there. It was very much an overstay. I mean, they tried to get something back. You know, unfortunately, it just did not work out their way. But fortunately for Syndicate Coke, rather, it netted them a big influx of gold. I think it was like, what, 2 shutdowns that they got for that? And now it's just, you know, evening out that boat that was a little bit shifty. So now, this 15-minute mark, I mean, Dragon in 35, it could literally go either way at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are moving to at least consider contesting this. A TP coming in topside there from Nar says to me that Syndicate probably isn't focusing on this too much. Kakalin does have his TP, does have his ultimate too to be able to collapse if they so choose on the side of Tilt Crashouts right now, but both just looking to jockey around this prio here. Good trading.
Oh, trying to lay a trap of their own on to the bow, but not quite that. Rat Queen Delilah though jumping out. Wow. I told you Gwen was a frontliner. She's so tanky, but you know who's so damaging? It's Zed, baby. Great ultimate from the Yone coming in, and the rest of the Tilted Crashouts are here. They are tilted. They are crashing out. They are collecting bodies upon bodies with that. Will take 3, and the Dragon. Their trap worked this time too. People are just springing traps on each other all game long, I guess.
I mean, the writing on the wall, like, it should tell you there. If a spot is going to TP to that topside turret, the likelihood of you contesting probably just isn't there. You should know that Kakalin has his TP available. They end up burning it. They get that numbers advantage. They force a fight, and then TESC come out ahead. And
man,
it just feels like Syndicate Coke. They probably just weren't on the same page for that. They wanted their cake, tried to eat it too, and unfortunately, they just get taken down. And Spada and Zed, like, they're trading here as much as they can to try to get some more pressure towards this top side right now, but TSC, like, look at how much momentum they were able to gather off that. Tier 1 mid gone, Tier 1 bot mostly gone at this point too.
Yep, I mean, it's swinging back, just back and forth, all the momentum, and now it's up to this Coke lineup to see how they can, you know, recover from that, because they were doing very well. It's just Bo, that's retail Bo, right? I keep wanting to say
I think retail row.
Right. I want to keep saying recurve Bow, and I'm like, no, that's
yeah, recurve.
Like that's definitely not it. But
that's pretty good though.
It's like you as the only, like, you know, pure first line frontliner, they want to be the initiator. They want to get so much done. But you're only an Alistar, baby. You can only do so much up against, you know, all this damage that the Crashouts are doing. So if they, you know, take 80% of their health and have to pop their ultimate to try to survive. But speaking of trying to survive, oh my God, Spuds! The Seeking Q actually stopping Ro from trying to get anything done. And now here comes Rat Queen Delilah again. The exhaust is burned, and so are the chains of corruption coming out from Measurable. But unfortunately, Ro will not be able to get away. That's a dead cow. We were just talking about it. You can only do so much going in. Getting out is the problem. It's another head, another scalp, another pelt collected. But we'll show them all sitting at 2, 2, and 4 currently, and stopping the attempted tower take from Syndicate Coke.
We are going to see this. We are going to see this cross map coming through here. We are going to see that Rift Herald is going to go down the process right now. So pretty good heads up play overall across the map. I mean, if you're winning top side, you're winning bot side. TESC they're doing exactly what they need to do. Their comp, if they're able to continue to scale up, should most certainly be there. You have the front line to be able to create the space for the rest of the carries that you need. Rat Queen Delilah's in a fantastic spot. You can already see those 2 items being completed to the item and a half. Actually, I lied. Mist just got his second, so at least they're on par, but Gwen at this point right now in the game is so much scarier than a Viego ever could be, and you really have to keep your tabs on that Gwen. And if you're retail rowing this Alistar, as we just pointed out, you saw it, you get chased down so easily. You need the rest of your team around you to be able to find those engages, to find those fights. Nice ult.
Ooh, yeah, gonna go ahead. Ult in, Kakalin. Are you sure you want this fight, big fella? Are you sure you want to try this? Waiting for the cooldown to come, because here's also Miss saying, hey, bro, I got you. Ult's out. Kakalin says, hey, man. I was play fighting, went for real fighting. We were just you know, shadow boxing a little bit. And now I'm worried because the tower is about to fall in the bot lane. Okay, Zed actually rotating down there and dropping Herald here is so good. So this will be guaranteed first brick. Oh man.
Second time's a charm.
Second time, yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Good chunk. But yeah, first break going away of Tilted Crashouts. Get that done. So Zed wants to get the Zelda kill too. Has to be careful there. Eats a lot from that second tower shot. Oh, you're on a ward, babes. Raccoon Delilah trying to get away here. You can still get Sun inside it. She's only immune outside of it. As they're popping the ult for this one. They really want to kill her, and the flash to boot. Measurable. Getting a shutdown gold on Raccoon Delilah. But that's 2 towers felled within 30 seconds of each other for the Tilted Crashouts.
Yeah, TESC still answering on the map, and it's good they got the pick on that Gwen. I think it's necessary given the position that you're in, but TESC constantly getting something that tier 1 top goes down in exchange, and Tilted Crashouts, I'd say they're more than happy with that. You get the flash out of that Varus too. This dragon's up here in about 40 seconds, so you can definitely contest for this next objective here. Tilt Crashouts, they just need to decide whether or not they do want to do that. If not, they can cross map. They've got options right here, and I think you could just see Mist. He's trying to farm up as much as he can. Just continue to try. At this point, he's done a good job. He's actually been able to overtake Rat Queen Delilah with this farming, which is nice to see. But at this point right now, you just want to get as much attention as you can put down towards that dragon, get control of that river, and start pushing that mid wave.
Yeah. Man, this is so interesting. Yeah. Next Infernal Drake, pop it up here in 3 seconds. I don't think the Crashouts are going to have too much trouble with this one. I don't know if Syndicate Coke really wants to try to contest this, as a lot of their forces are aimed towards the top side of the map. I think we really need to get more of the objective game down, you know, get some of these towers off, some of the standing gold. Not fight for once. Just a thought as looks like Zed's caught out. Pops the ultimate, but no, it's interrupted here. He does have backup in the form of Frozen Spuds, who manages to get him out. The bailout is available too, should they need to use it. But yeah, we're gonna get the dragon. And okay. No time to react at all. They will claim Spud's life. We'll show them all. Almost get snapped out of the air from the Mist body snatch as well. But interesting. Okay, we'll answer the TP going bot lane to stop this wave, but that was a big influx of gold going in for Syndicate Coke, I believe.
That's the first time that we've really seen Frozen Spuds out of position, and that's honestly, that's exactly what's going to happen every single time. So Renata's a fantastic champ. You just need to make sure that you're in the right spot at the right time. There's already one of those ultimates, excuse me, where just had the biggest of differences in the team fight. I think you landed on 3 different members down towards one of those dragon fights, and the impact that this champion has is crazy. But if you're caught out of position, there's no doubt that Syndicate can clean you up, and that's exactly what we saw there. As already that dragon being exchanged, ESC is going to net that up, and Rat Queen Delilah's looking for a little bit more.
You know, the blocking, making sure you can't get through. W under you just to push him away, but there's no escape. Rat Queen Delilah's going to claim that. We'll show them all a little bit out of position. Buster shot pushes them back, but guess who's on the backside is Frozen Spuds. Also, Rat Queen Delilah's flanking too. 1 ultimate shot. That's a slow. They're on to Retail Row again. Does a great Q, misses the back line, jumps on it. We'll show them all. Shots a kite back as much as they can and manage to get him and a shutdown as well. Nice try. Syndicate Coke, thanks for coming, but it's nothing but a G thing, baby, as the Crashouts are here. Good call to the great ultimate Malphite Gaming. That's 4 kills for nothing on the side of the Tilted Crashouts.
Huh. Well, when you put it like that. 4 kills for nothing. pressure on that tier 2, but crucially this Atacon will be going down here now, and TSC, when it came to this mid game, they've just branched out so much more. They've been on the map in the places that they needed to be. They pulled trigger, and they're pretty decisive. They were able to force that fight, clean things up with a beautiful flash out there from Kakalin, and now, I mean, this really is just your game, isn't it, Teal Crashouts? You can move up towards that top side, set up for this Baron that's up in 30 seconds. You can wait for that next dragon to come up, play for Soul. Like, so many options on the table for you. Just need to get back on the map and make that crucial decision.
And when that decision comes, are your hands ready to make it? That's the big question.
So far, I'd say yeah. Like, honestly, they're looking good. They're looking really good. Like, I think you and I both like the draft from Syndicate more, but it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. Right. It's all about the execution. And if that Gwen's able to get ahead the way that Rat Queen Delilah has been able to do, it's so tricky for a champion like that Alistar to even be able to frontline. How do you even frontline into it? I don't know. I don't think you can.
You don't. You really don't. You really don't. I mean, you saw how quickly got melted down multiple times here in earlier fights, and now it's just, oh man, it's really, really scary, because now the snowball we've talked about in Champ Select, it can crash out.
It's here.
Get going. It's near unstoppable, and they are at that point. 207 on the Yone, 624 on the Gwen, 324 on the Tristana. They're going for this Baron, melting it very, very fast, you know, as a Gwen does. But it does look like that Coke want to try and fight. The jump in, the buster shot, the reset as well. Great change in corruption, but there's not a lot of follow through. Zed's going to body off 3 other members by himself. And there's the pull in. Rat Queen Delilah gets caught, looks to be taken down here, but no, because of the Otacon buff, it's just a withdrawal. No gold, a limited amount of gold going over. They can afford to do this. To the Crashouts, gonna quote unquote technically lose to, but not too much lost, honestly.
Like, I'm still so confused, Crow. I'm not so sure what was going on there. It's like there's just fights on like 3 different fronts. It was just the weirdest thing ever there, and Syndicate just kind of picked them off one by one, over and over and over again. Measurable landed that Q onto that backline, hit that Tristana, she popped, and then everybody else seemed to follow suit now. And while you had all that set up for the Baron, you did a good job forcing the fight. We just weren't able to play well enough around that. And at this point right now, you haven't conceded priority, but this next fight is going to be a huge, huge decider of what happens in this game with this Baron still available.
Oh dear, Turk, this is getting scary waters now, because I mean, that was a fight that Syndicate Coke could have won if it wasn't, you know, the Otacon buff for the withdrawals and whatnot, right? I mean, they were doing a lot of damage. It was a great catch out on Rat Queen Delilah. It was a great catch out on We'll Show Them All. Now this Dragon half spawn, it's Inferno Soul here for Tilted Crashouts. Syndicate Coke are jockeying. They're all grouped up as 5. You don't want to do that. You're against Malphite Yone, and you're grouping together as 5. They're deciding to cut their losses and actually cut through mid to try to take something out. They might just concede the Soul over, which I don't necessarily agree with, but hey, it will go down. They're deciding the tower is more important than preventing Soul from happening. But now this is giving extra bonus and extra burn and extra power over to the Crashouts, and they're on to retail row. And that's a full Malphite ultimate. Send it all the way in. They're saying we're going to end this right now, baby boy, as We'll Show Them All on an absolute rampage, taking out 1, taking out 2. Rat Queen Delilah gonna even it up on their end. As you see, Spotted trying to run to the other side. Look how low the health bars are for everybody else, and that's a double. Oh my goodness. They're gonna turn their attention to the Baron.
It looks so good, Crow, because they were jockeying, and I agree with you. You don't want to group up around the Malphite at all, but you were at least holding them to the chokes. You controlled the river, and then we conceded river. We moved in towards mid, and we pushed the wave, and we gave up the Dragon Soul. After you give up the Dragon Soul, you get slow chased. 1 member dies, another member dies, and Kakalin just had another beautiful ultimate again. He actually, whether he meant to or not, he predicted the retail row, the Alistar's flash there, netted him up, and it's just done. At that point, you just clean things up. Now you have your Soul, now you have your Baron. You get back out on the map together as a team. It's great to see from them here in this game 1, Crow.
Man, they're just keeping the snowball going, and it's so weird because like you said, questionable calls from Syndicate Coke. I mean, fighting to just, you know, full index on mid and not even try to attempt to fight when they just had a 1 fight earlier on in the river. Scrap quick delay, little twirl and whirl and twirl. Oh my goodness. No, good call it. Oh my god. They're going to full send it. They're going to go ahead and just dump all the meter, dump all their ultimates, do whatever they want to do. Absolutely just have their way with Syndicate Code. Say, there's no contest here.
That's so unfair, man. That is so unfair.
Walk up, press R, win, fight. Hilarious.
Oh my god. He might shake hands after the series. Could call it might.
He's just like, all right, whatever. You know, just... That will be Tilted Crashouts taking game number 1 pretty dominantly. That snowball got rolling and unfortunately turned into quite a bit of an avalanche for the Tilted Crashouts.
Yeah, DSC ready to play here in this best of 5, this game 1. Unbelievably decisive when it came down to the big game. Early game, a couple mistakes here and there, one botched team fight around the Baron, but other than that, pretty much textbook across the board. Ended up picking yourself up the soul. You got the Baron. You closed it out with just clean, calm, decisive team fights, and you did exactly what they needed to do too. They had a really heavy ultimate-centric team comp that they played well around. They weren't grouping up when they didn't have their ultimates. They weren't trying to force any unnecessary fights. They were just taking the angles that were given to them, and it seems like it's off the back of Kakalin.
And, of a Malphite pick, of all things.
Yeah, honestly, though, yeah.
Like, it literally just said, all right, yeah, let me just brain off and just y'all have fun, boys, just do what you want. But no, I mean, it was just very, very easy gameplay from the side of Tilted Crashouts, and like, it was interesting because there were so many moments in there. I think like the first dragon fight where it's like, okay, this could be swinging back and forth, but then immediately, like, what, 2 minutes afterwards, another fight for them, just 100% swung it back in their favor. And it seemed like after the dragon fights, like I think it was what, 2 dragon fights, where it just really didn't look like Syndicate could really do anything or get anything done. But they have a little bit of time to think it over, formulate new plans and ideas. As we're going to throw it to a quick break, and when we come back, we got game number 2 between Syndicate Coke and Tilted Crashouts. See you in a minute.
See you soon.
Every time I close my eyes, a little less of you remains. I know you're slipping further from me now. Am I too far away?
we're back. Did you miss us? We weren't gone that long anyways. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Pretty quick break. We were just talking back behind the scenes there. We love it. Everybody's ready to rock and roll. Nobody's waiting on anybody. And it's just the little things like that. Because normally they're waiting on casters. So normally it's our fault. But this time, not so much here. So we're already into it here. And this game 2 is going quick. No side select Crow. Or no side swap, excuse me, here. It's going to stay the same. We're going to see that Varus B1 with that Tristana and that Volibear coming in. The only ban difference that I can notice out of the gate is going to be that Gwen. Not a big surprise.
They said we don't want that at all. That's actually, I love that so much. I mean, honestly, they were getting pretty rocked by it. I can't even hold you. Can't even hold you. But keeping the Ahri ban and keeping the Lilia ban, making sure there's no way in hell that Tilted Crashouts get a hold of it, but they will interlock the Tristana. But this allows the Volibear that was banned in game number 1 to actually get through. We're gonna have a little brother on brother fight because Syndicate Coke auto lock Olaf Ornn.
Yeah, we're going to see that Olaf early on. I was like, okay, maybe Syndicate's going to hold that flex here. They're going to look to do something with that Olaf, but no, they're just going to answer with the Ornn, and they're going to show right out of the gate that Olaf's going into that jungle. So it looks like they're assuming that Volibear is going to be going into that jungle role. But as far as I know, Volibear does well into Ornn, so TSC might actually be able to pivot away from that here with this R3. Maybe they just go for something more comfort. Looks like they're going to do exactly what I didn't think, but it's going to be the Alawi, so it's going to do the exact same thing that they needed to do anyways at this point right now. And how does Ornn play already out of the gate? Like honestly, like when I look at a Crow, I'm like, I like most tanks, but there's some tanks I feel like you can and you can't blind. Like Ornn to me is one of those champions where if you're good enough you can get away with blinding them, but there's so many picks that counter. Like that's why I'm usually a big fan of something like the Gragas or like the Gnar. Something like that where I'm like, okay, blind, you're pretty safe, but with an Ornn into Alawi pick, like it's so doomed to that top side. You need to be able to group up as much as you can as Syndicate, and I think for this phase 2, it'd be nice to see them index with some more like supportive mid style or like an enchanter, because I feel like that Olaf is going to need that now.
I'm actually so confused, because blind picking the Ornn and so many things to counter it. I did not think of the Alawi to be one of them.
Me neither, honestly.
As someone who's played a considerable amount of Alawi, I don't really like this matchup going into like team fight scenarios. Like it's so easy to avoid the Alawi and make her like a non-factor in a lot of these situations, especially the composition that Sync has going on here. I mean, the Varus, the Olaf, and the Ornn. I mean, it makes it very easy to not have the Alawi be a factor in these fights that are going to happen, because we know both of these squads like the team fight, and you wanted to see an enchanter. We're going to get both of them. We get the Karma and the Lulu. I'm expecting the Karma to go mid though, because Zed does have a history of playing Karma mid more so than who in the bot lane playing support. Not gonna play the
Spud?
Karma support. Yeah, Spuds. Frozen. I was gonna say Frozen Sword, but no, Frozen Spuds. Not necessarily gonna play the Karma in the bot lane. So I'm expecting that to go to Zed in the mid lane.
We'll see right here in this R5. At this point right now, you can index into more like CC. We're going to get that Orianna though. So Orianna, not surprised at all. I've seen Syndicate play quite a bit of that. So Thunder Thrusters, definitely a comfort pick for him. Is also that supportive role too, which is nice because that Olaf needs that. Now you have those enchanters to be able to buff that Olaf up and make him that much stronger. And it really delays that like later stage point where Olaf just falls off a cliff. So here he's pretty safe. And R5, it looks like we don't actually see the icon, but it is going to be the Rel. So we're going to get the Rel coming through, and you're right, you're spot on. It's going to be that Karma mid.
Okay, I mean this is going to give the Onus a lot more engage from the Volibear Rel combo. Okay, that's pretty scary, but I mean you do have so much more area control, I guess you could say now, with the sync lineup here. I mean, Ornn just massive amounts, with the Q, with the ultimate as well, and the double buffs enchanters, like you said. You can either buff up the Olaf or the Varus in this case. That is the thing here. I mean, Orianna Ball on Olaf, cool, yeah, but like also giving the shield and the speed to Varus in a lot of these clutch fights is going to be really, really key when the Olaf falls here. So this is a very blatant team fight composition coming out from Syndicate Coke here. A lot better. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot better than their first comp, game 1 comp. I do like it a lot more. Very non-complicated game plan, I guess you could say. Back to basics, back to defaults. Similar enough on the side of Tilted Crashouts. They do have a very simple to execute composition, and I like it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, no side select. Or no, I said it again. No side select. Right, so Syndicate's more than happy just to take this. They felt like the Varus, it's a good solid B1 for them. TESC, I think it's wise for them just to answer with the Tristana. Again, the Tristana ended up working out really well into that Varus, and now you got yourself a counter pick support into that Lulu too. So the all-in threat from Tilted Crashouts, 100%'s there. You have that early game jungler with that Volley Bear to force and facilitate the rest of these fights. We'll see how well this Karma can hold up into this Orianna. Of course, early on, you're going to have that advantage, but come that level 9 mark, when Orianna's just becoming really strong, that's where things are probably going to start to sway there for the opposite side. So I feel like this time, we have some nice scaling on Syndicate. We'll see how well they can pilot and play around it, but of course, we're going to really have to keep our eye on the red herring, which is going to be that Alawi pick. I like the Alawi and I don't like the Alawi, but the reason why I do is because you have so much pressure in that side lane. If Syndicate ever try to send 2, 3, or even 4 members up there, the likelihood of you cleaning up that Alawi is pretty low. So that's the issue that Syndicate's going to run into. Can you have that Ornn group when you need him to? That's the question. And if you can't, and you're stuck in a side lane the whole time, Alawi's going to constantly pressure and harass and take your plates and take your turrets, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So on the side lanes, there's a timer for Syndicate, but when it comes to the scaling, the timer's on their side. So how well does that work out? I don't know, but I hope that Syndicate's paying attention to that.
I mean, and the biggest thing you really have to talk about too, though, is just this Tristana, man. Like, we'll show them all. Definitely showed us some crazy things last game.
Yeah, he played very well.
Amazing buffering on the rocket jumps and using the rocket buster as well. Just doing such a great job. That is something we will have to watch for here. Measurable didn't have the best of time up against them in lane. Once I got out of lane, got to the team fights, did a little bit better. But this Varus versus Tristana matchup is very, very volatile, very much support dependent, and I'm feeling a bit more comfortable with Tilted Crashouts in their current lineup. I mean, allow me aside, still a little bit of wild card in my opinion once it gets to the later stages of things. That is if we see Kakalin, push on ahead, dominate the lane like we think he can. It's a tall order, but I think the Crashouts can do it.
So do I. In game 1, they showed a really clean execution when it came down to the mid game. Pretty much all the objectives when it came down to the neutrals were theirs. They took 2, 3 turrets. I don't even know. Did Syndicate even get a turret that game, Crow? Mm-hmm. They did? How many turrets?
Yeah.
1 or 2?
I want to say it was 2. Because they got mid tier 2 and I think top tier 2.
Okay, so they got a few. All right, so I'll take that back, but hopefully for Syndicate in this game too, we can really see them start to play well around those objectives, because at this point now you have that engage, you have that team fight to be able to force these fights down, and if you group up as 5, you're much stronger than TESC when they group up as 5, so if you're able to find those numbers advantages or even just match and group up and force those fights as a team, I think that's where Syndicate's comp can really come online. But in game 1, when it came down to like 15 minutes plus, like after the plates were all down, they were almost nowhere to be seen, and this time we definitely won't see it with the Varus. I was kind of hoping to see the poke Varus from game 1. We didn't. We ended up seeing just the I believe is the on hit there, so that's what we got instead. This game 2 with that Lulu pick, guaranteed it's on hit again. There's no way that it's not, so we'll see how well it's able to play this time into this Trist once again. And TESC, yeah, I think you pretty much nailed it perfectly. Like, I like their team comp. Can they execute it? Can they pull it out? Syndicate, I like yours as well. You just have different win cons. It's all about the side lanes for both of these teams. And Syndicate, how much can you nullify on the sides? And TESC, how much can you gain on the sides? Those are the questions.
Questions that need to be answered, indeed. I'm excited. I think this is the composition that Sync could bring back the series tied up 1-1 with. Like I said, I do like it better than the game 1 composition. It's just a matter of how the execution is going to come. That is the big thing here. That's the big question mark looming over their heads: is can we do it? Can they bring the fight, the Crashouts, and surpass them? Because they were fighting. They were scrapping a lot of game number 1. It just wasn't necessarily always in their favor. That's the issue. If they shore up those differences, I think they can do it. But like, man, What
The night's young. The night's young. We're going the distance, aren't we?
You gotta kick your feet up, you know, get your snacks and such.
Get relaxed.
Long night.
Show off the awards. I just play with you. I'm just congrats. I'm just playing with you. Gotta have a little fun. But game 2, we're pretty much here now, Crow. Like early, like the whole season. The season flew by so quick. We're already into quarterfinals here. Game 1 being completed, already done. Didn't take that long for that to close out here. Game 2, TESC looking quite good. No side swap, so we'll see how well both these teams can execute the team comps that they've drafted. No real change for that B1 and R1, R2. The only difference being that Gwen taken out of the table here. So TESC still has that similar team comp that they want to play around. You and I've talked about it. It's just that Alawi now. That's the only champion that you and I are wondering about. Me too.
I'm so curious about the Alawi.
Me too, because I think so much is gonna rely on this Alawi being able to get ahead in those sides, and you will. That's not the issue. It's just how much can you do when you have that lead. That's really what you need to wonder now.
And I mean, it's interesting because like I'm still trying to figure out how it's going to service the rest of the team, right? Because I
don't think it does.
I mean, right, but like split pushing in this meta, not the best currently. You know, it's not really the wave, as they would say. But like, because we've seen Colin play really good on tanks, do good on tank duty, the Malphite, you know, even the Mordekaiser, I believe when he's whipped it out. Like it's just this feels significantly different. And I'm just wondering on like, because there were a majority of the wins that Tilted Crashouts had have been because of these multi-man fights, these 4v4s, these 5v5s, etc., etc. I'm so sure they could do it right here.
Mm-hmm. That's it. And really now it just is going to come down to execution once again. TESC have a really strong early game comp, like crazy strong. Those 4 members, obviously excluding that Alawi, just split pushing. Tristana, Volibear, Karma, and Rel are so strong early. So can they get ahead? If they are able to get ahead, then they can hopefully keep that Olaf behind. Because if Olaf gets ahead on the side of Syndicate, I don't know how you're going to be able to deal with him. It feels like he could just run every single one of your members down, and I think he can, especially with that Lulu, especially with that Orianna. So there's a couple champions that you always got to pay attention to each one of these drafts. Tracking that Olaf is going to be crucial for Tilted Crashouts here. Keeping an eye on him, getting ahead in the early game, pre-6 is going to be very important for you too. Especially even that pre-9 mark, because at that point Karma's going to start to fall off a little bit comparative to Orianna, and you want to be ahead because you're going to need to rely on your Tristana and pretty much your Tristana to carry this late game when it comes to those team fights. Alawi has all that impact in the sides, but ideally Tilted Crashouts isn't grouping with that Alawi. They want that 4-man squad to do as much damage as they can, and if they start to bleed, I feel like things can go from bad to worse so quickly.
Oh yeah, so fast. Oh, biggest question. Do we think Flash or Ghost
on Olaf?
Yeah.
Probably Ghost. I would think Ghost. I think Ghost makes the most sense here for them. There's nothing that you really need to flash away from. If you're against something like a Jarvan, for example, you could probably take something like a Flash, but in this case right now, I feel like you're just perfectly fine to take that Ghost. You get a little bit of that CD advantage too, and that running down the potential that you have is just crazy. So that Olaf, that's another pick that you really want to pay attention to. They showed their hand very quickly, because Syndicate normally when you pick that Olaf, you just kind of hold that right there. You might be able to do something like a B3. Like you can pick the Orianna yourself and hold that and not show where that Olaf's going, but they index into it pretty quickly. So as soon as they did that, it gave agency for Tilted Crashouts to pick that Alawi, which is how we've got what we've got right now with a strong 4-man squad and that strong split pushing style that Tilted Crashouts has drafted here. So yeah, so much is going to rely, honestly, on this Olaf here. And I really hope that Varus can get ahead in this game, too, because in Game 1, it's so unfortunate. Once you fall behind versus Tristana, you can't do anything. You just
really
get all in over and over and over again, and you're just pretty much cleaned up here. So hopefully we can see the Varus and the Lulu really start to take off here. As we do, wait, we blab, don't we? We talk.
Oh yeah, we talk.
There's no intermission. Game 2.
We are the intermission. Game 2, baby, straight into it. Off of our yapping, we're gonna do a little bit more yapping, as we do have game number 2 between Syndicate, Coke, and Tilted Crashouts. We're really gonna be looking a lot, like I said, at this jungle top matchup again is very, very important. Last game, Coke was not really getting much of anything done. with their jungler. I mean, it just was not happening. The ganks early just weren't there. Now you're on an Olaf jungle, so this makes things different. Who did take flash, by the way, missed. Talking flash smite, not ghost smite. So once again, a bit more of that playmaking potential, so to speak. But I mean, it's still solid.
We will be watching that Olaf. Missed in game 1, had some good moments on that Viego, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. Rat Queen Delilah on that Gwen was able to outfarm up until like 20-25 minute mark. That's where things started to turn around for Mist, but at that point the Gwen got too accelerated. There's nothing that you could do about it. So in this game right here, game 2, we're going to once again pay as much attention to Mist as we possibly can in this Olaf. You fall behind, you are almost useless. So we'll keep a track, we'll keep tabs on both of these junglers. Right now you can see both of them starting towards that top side. Once again, going to be trying to focus as much attention as they can on this bot.
Yup. I mean, we gotta see how Measurable does here. I mean, that's like one of the big things. We'll show them all. And Frozen Buds definitely dominated the bot lane 2v2 last game. Hopefully not going to have a repeat of here, because I mean, this Varus, it's not necessarily the main damage dealer, but like as far as consistent damage goes, with how many extra buffs they're putting on top of them, they have to be the one. They have to turn into Neo. They have to be the chosen one to get this job done. As early on, a lot of trades going back and forth, and I mean both sides taking a bit of damage. Can't really say who came out the better of the side.
Yeah, lanes are pretty much going how you'd expect early on. Orange should have this push on towards this top side. Kakalin does have the option to take those trades and does have that extension with all the healing and everything else that comes with that kit. However, the wave push should be going down to a spot. Equally so on bot side, you should be seeing the same thing with those double range champions there. And so far, Measurable and Retail Row have done a good job. Quite a bit of trading though, Crow.
The boys like to scrap. The spot.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Every game, they're taking each other to about like 50 HP. First or second trade is they're literally just barely level 3. Ooh, nice counter on the W. Goes for the E to try to get out. Will get that soul taken away. Soul tie, the tether, and unfortunately can't trade out of it. So
annoying.
Have to test.
Isn't that the most annoying mini game that you have to play in League?
It's so fun.
It's so fun.
When I'm doing it to others, yes. When it's being done to me,
yeah. When I'm casting it, I don't even feel good. Yeah. I feel like a bad person when I see that.
Nah, as someone that's like immediately played Alawi since day one, that ability used to be ass. I'm not even gonna front. Like her E literally didn't do shit. Like it was just so basic, and like it lasted so much less, and they could just bully you out of it. Like you didn't get near as much damage as you get off of it now. But the test of strength is such a great poke tool and will be essential in this top lane as the Collins pushing in. Oh, they're going for it now. Flash Q misses the W, probably trying to slay the CC here, but the Ignite is on, is ticking. Retail Row burned everything, and they're going to burn another flash from We'll Show Them All just to make sure we get that kill. A little bit messy. 3 flashes called for it. Now this is going to be Measurable jumping back in.
Way.
Yeah, he could probably get a double return. QE auto gets it. He's stunned up against a bear. You're in a fight. The Woods against a Grizzly Bear. This is unfortunately, he's gonna pop the barrier. Is his health gonna be enough though? Not quite, just barely missing out on it. Trying to get the 3 back, but will be fine with 2 in the meantime. Could call in, bit off more than he could chew. As you can't take a bite out of this Viking, he's gonna put an axe in your head. It's a quick return, and Syndicate Code come out better for it with a 3-2.
Such a good play, honestly. 3 flashes were burned in that bot side gank. Rat Queen, Delilah, Volley Bear, Tristana, and Rel all burned their flashes, and it took them so long to kill Retail Row that Measurable was able to continuously auto attack, got those lethal tempo stacks fully there, and as soon as you get 1 kill, your passive kicks into, you have so much damage, and he kind of sort of almost had the Volley Bear there too, and that could have been absolutely crazy, but the damage, now we can see it. This is great. This is exactly what we were hoping to see. In game 1, it wasn't there. The snowball came through, and the Tristana just kept rolling and rolling and rolling the Varus, but this time, Retail Row and Measurable had done such a good job bot side, right from level 1, getting the priority on this wave and not allowing them to contest. They need to be a little careful here though.
There's a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of a botch from Frozen Spuds on the EW, and it's just gonna cause them to take so much more damage. You cannot afford these trades, especially when the enemy's first buy was a full Vamp Scepter and 2 daggers. Like, you guys cannot afford to fight in this lane. No trades, no nothing. Just farm up and pray, because this early game, this lane is just about done. So it can't be recovered. But they have to play smart about it. As Syndicate Coke are now, firmly in this lead. It's about a 0.4k lead, but it can be carried and ballooned real easy, especially with how low the health bars are of this tilted Crashouts bot lane.
Yeah, conditions bot side are not exactly what you want. You just haven't been able to threaten that all in much at all with the HP disadvantage that you've had for this, well, the first whole 6 minutes. So night and day difference there from the bot side of Sync. Just doing such a good job being able to get that control around that double range. And that's the most important thing, is whether or not that melee and that all-in Tristana can actually fight you entirely depends on what the HP they have at level 3. That's exactly how that lane goes. And if they're too chunked where they can't engage, you've already won your lane. And that's exactly what we've seen here, and it's so difficult for them to recover now.
Yep, and you see it time and time again, keeping those health bars below half. And it's so interesting because the Crashouts, they want to go in. This entire competition is made around going in, as here is Raqueen Delilah on to Measurable. There's the double W's from both of the bot laners. And they're like, health deficit be damned, we want that head. And immediately answering back and tying it up 3-3.
Honestly, I don't think you needed to die there at all. The wave's coming back to you. You know that you can just relax and just kind of kill time. Do anything that you want. The wave is going to be there eventually, and unfortunately we do go down. And Raqueen Delilah in the right spot at the right time, just like he is here, burning another flash in the process. And he's doing a great job here on this Volley Bear.
Very good job. A lot more proactive than last game. I mean, on the Gwen, did need a little bit of farm to get up, but like still making ganks. Completely 9-day difference though. Like you're actually ganking on an actual ganking champion. As oh man, poor Spada.
You can't do anything. Man, it sucks. We knew this was gonna happen though, Crow. We knew that this top side was going to go like this. The CS lead is starting to accrue. It's just what can Sync do on the map? The spot is, honestly, he's kind of screwed here, man.
It's just up for a few more levels, I mean. Unless you get like an item, he should be all right. But yeah, just kind of has to play by the tower, get as much, CS as he can. Doing a good job of not falling too far under. Just about, 10 behind, but it's the nature of this matchup this early at least. I mean, he does, have that one assist that did help him out a little bit as Mist came up, but yeah, just it's a big old give me the ball back and forth between the two in mid lane. Yeah, I'm gonna go look at mid lane. We can go past that. It's cool. Nothing is happening. But these tops and bottom lanes clearly. We talked about it in draft that both these lanes would be very important. Is oh my goodness, Colin, what? And pops the passive, tries to get in. The setup for the tentacles here is actually so smart. Dodge out on the E. It's an auto. Actually, here comes the Ornhorn. Here comes the ulti. That's it. Oh my god. Perfect avoidance with the test of faith. That's actually insane. It's the timing on that is so crazy, but Kakalin solo. No health, no mana, no flash. Espada gets it. Tiniest of assists from this as well.
Mist just in the right spot at the right time there. Both junglers doing a really good job at being able to get in those spots to make things happen on the map. So Mist, I don't think he doesn't get that kill Espada does at the end of the day, but that's exactly what you needed. Now that doesn't win you the lane. That delays the inevitable, but that's exactly what you need. Now that buys you more time. That means you can impact the rest of the map. Mist gets a little bit of gold for his troubles. He's able to farm up, and then he's able to now play towards this next dragon here, just that much stronger. So we'll see if he takes that reset to spend the gold off of that player, if he just stays on the map. But Thunder McBusters has to be very careful.
Ooh, speaking of very careful, Thunder McBuster. I thought he was gonna get out. I thought he was gonna get out. Unfortunately, not the case. Doesn't fall. What a drive-by type gang too. That wasn't the original objective. But yeah, Tilted Crashouts get their man all the same.
Yeah, just no vision, honestly, from Syndicate Coke at all in that mid lane. Just complete darkness. And at that point, when you get 3-man gank, all you can say is play safe mid and still die. That's pretty much it. And that really is off the back of just no vision there. A good heads-up call from Tilted Crashouts. They just recognize that window. The shockwave, I actually didn't end up seeing what happened with the shockwave. So I don't know if that got blown earlier, if I just happened to miss that, but
I think it got blown earlier.
That'd be still a great sequence for them at the end of the day. Colin's doing exactly what he needs to do in this top side too. Continue to pressure. No plates mounted yet. No real CS lead either.
Yeah. So it's pretty even. I mean, he keeps building up the wave. I mean, a spotter rather keeps building up the wave enough to where that after all these really crazy trades where he's taking a lot of damage from, he's able to get it back. It's nice dodge out, but the Tesla strength is there. Horn once again just waiting, and you already used your ultimate.
No,
and you can't get away from this. And yes, Spotter wins in the 1v1. Oh, I told you, it takes a few more items, you can get it done, you know? I mean, in this case, which the Bomb Center and Chain Vest. Now it's a 4v4 here for this Dragon. Number 2, Crashouts want to grab something back. As yeah, the could be engage. Oh, wow, great ball from Thunder Mech Buster. Sets it up. And Mist knocks him back down. They may have lost the Drake, but they still managed to get something out of it. It's just
that shockwave. The shockwave, the deal maker there.
Yeah.
Whether or not, and I'm sure they do, they should be tracking the summoners, the flashes there. Frozen Spuds with that flash available is so deadly in positions like that because all of the members were grouped up. The Rel had that angle, but the shockwave came in and it interrupted that. The team fight's already done after that. There's nothing that you could do about it. We do see a bit of an all-in, but I think maybe that's wise.
Yeah. A lane swap here, sitting a spotted down bot. Looks like the duos that were tired of each other. I mean, similar score lines though is oh no, Spot is going in. So much damage.
A Spot is fine. Like they have Collector.
Oh my goodness. This is yeah, they're not taking out this Ornn anytime soon. Especially with how much armor he's already built up. Just for the 1v1, just happens to, apply to everywhere else in the map because of the mid karma. So I mean the AP can be very, very strong for sure, but not the main focus. Is now it does look like Sync want to try and burst down a turret as fast as possible. No turrets have fallen just yet, but could see that be a different tier in a moment. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Tilted Crashouts need to get out of this swap, or need to get out of this lane right now. They need to swap. They need Alawi to match this Ornn. There's just nothing that they can do down there, and you can see that. We'll show them all. He recognizes that, and this is really smart by them. They're going to find that perfect timer here to get that reset and match, because if you don't, there's nothing that you can do in the sides, and if anything, a Spada actually 1v2s. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, just a tad bit. Okay, actually gonna burn the TP. Yeah, just gonna go TP bot. Okay, using it there. And will be answered back in the top. It's just will show them all currently, but just on a wave clear. Very, very good with the satchel. Oh yeah, I did notice the grubs. How many grubs does Syndicate Crashouts have?
6.
They have 6? Yeah, they do. Yeah, 6. Okay, cool. So they can burst on these towers pretty damn good right now, I would say, with the Varus and the Lulu.
They have pretty good siege too.
Yeah, they have a nice setup. Like I said, this traditional team fighting team, very nice siege setup as well. Once it gets to those stages and they fight for the buildings rather than just like the epic monsters.
The Spada doing a really good job, honestly. A really good job. You gotta highlight it. Even the fact that you get that solo kill there is pretty much mind-boggling. Because this matchup, the way that it's intended at this point right now, you should be getting perma pushed into your turret, you should be getting pressured, but with the itemization, the Bramble Vest coming in there first, it buys them that much more time. You get that first kill with the assistance of Mist, and then the second one. I think at that point right there, it's so tricky for Colin to be able to find those windows to get back in, and you can see, unfortunately right now, he doesn't even have tier 1 boots. He simply has that Black Cleaver, so that win con for Tilted Crashouts on the side isn't there, but looks like Zed and this Karma might be exactly what they need.
I told you, he plays a lot of mid karma and he does a good job with it. I mean, very smallest of leads over Thunder McBusters, but it's just we need to see this Karma get out of lane, because solo lane Karma is best when she's with her team later down the line. Like she just has more AP to draw from, so her abilities are better, and
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. They are, better and stronger. You get fatter shields, bigger Qs as well. But the Crashouts aren't really at that point just yet where, we're going to see Zed start roaming more with the team and buffing everybody up with, empowered E. Not quite yet, but I feel it's close.
That TP coming out, 55 seconds on that dragon. This team fight's going to happen for sure right now. Tilted Crashouts unable to get anything towards that top side. 6 grubs going down for the side of Syndicate, but they have been able to get 2 dragons. Netting themselves another dragon right here puts them on soul point around 16 minutes, and that's a really good position for you to be in.
Okay, let's see what the setup is here. What they want to try and get on to Measurable, who's getting all the buffs possible. Flash, a follow, but wow. Oh my gosh, they just delete him. And this close, 20 seconds before Dragon, both bot laners are down. They get Retail Row as a, extra buy one, get one free body. Oh my god, that was... And the only thing that wasn't blown was the wild growth from Retail Row. I guess it happened before. Measurable dying with both barrier and that wild growth up. There was just no chance. They're like full sin. They wanted him dead and they got him dead. Oh my goodness.
And more important than the kill becomes that soul point. So now you put yourself in such a strong position on this map here, and giving up the 6 grubs, that sucked earlier, but now at this point, momentum's completely switched around here. So Syndicate, they need to try to get their bearings here. They need to figure out how they can get back into this game. They're not out of it by any means, but they need to be playing to their tempo right now. They need to be moving and setting up plays themselves and not trying to react. I feel like it's so difficult to actually react into this Tilted Crashouts team. Oh my.
Yeah, it's very, very hard at the moment. Spada wants to go 1v1. Well, I think he'll actually win the 1v1 here. Could call in. Ooh, wow, does pop the ultimate, so he's going to do a lot of damage here. Do-si-doing around, dance around, tap dancing in. Misses the Q, does land the empowered auto though. Wants one more. The wave's not quite on his side. He's in right before getting into tower range. QW. And it's a solo kill. Espada taking down Kakolin. What?
He's a freak. He's a freak.
All 3 of his kills have been solo kills against Kakolin. That's absolutely ridiculous. And Zed now running for the hill. Thundermech. Busters flashing for the auto. Not quite in range either. It's these weird concerted strikes that Syndicate Crashouts are, Syndicate Coke rather, are getting against the Tilted Crashouts are just so damn good. And it's weird because they're losing every single team fight.
They're getting kills, but what are they getting off of the kills? 1 turret is nice. You're going to be able to net yourself that up here, but the next 3.5 minutes are crucial for your team. You need to be able to get the setup around this dragon. Make sure that the enemy team cannot walk in and cannot take that dragon, at least not for free. A fight has to happen there on your terms. So now's your time to farm up, get whatever gold you can, to get whatever item break you can. You can still see 2 items need to be completed from multiple members on the side of Syndicate, and if they're able to get that before this next dragon fight, that might be their ticket back into things.
Oh no. Oh, now he's good. Okay, Raccoon Delilah. It's this big bulky boy. Well, Rod of Ages. What, Rod of Ages?
You can do that too, I guess.
Yeah. So we're guessing Rod of Ages into what's it called? The
Thundermori Quick Blades.
Yeah. No? Is it Quick Blades?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know for sure.
I thought it was going to be Wits In.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, he has a Zeal, so yeah, Quick Blades. Interesting. Okay, so they will pop the Herald in mid. This time, driving to the tower. Now this is where it gets scary. Syndicate Coke's entire... We talked about their siege power earlier, and you're seeing it in full force here. Have the 6 grubs. Have the Herald. Well, felled now. Able to take 1 tower. Stop just before that second one. That could have been crazy. But in the bot lane, Thundermech Busters will go ahead and claim another. No, stopped again. Okay, Tilted Crashouts did a good job of stopping the siege all across the map. Actually, will take a tower of their own in the top lane. And now, speaking of top lane, though, this is what I was really worried about in draft when they decided to instant lock this Alawi. I was saying, in lane, it should be fine, but after lane, what the hell are you going to do? Because split pushing is not that strong, especially if you fall behind. And, well, Turk, my good friend, the Colin is a little bit behind. Drawing as much fire as he can. 0-4-4, not really a damage factor here. But
he'll probably need another 5 minutes. Honestly, he'll probably need another 5 minutes, Crow. I think before he can even consider actually fighting Espada, because he's going to need that second item completed at the very least here, and I'm not even sure that's enough right now. But that was the first time that we did actually get a chance, about a minute ago, where we saw the 4 members from Syndicate group up, which was nice with the Ornn, with Espada, looking to try to find something, but nothing actually came of it. And each time, that's what we're paying attention to. When they group, are they able to force? Are they able to find those fights? Because they bleed on sides every time.
Man, this is so interesting to see. It looks like they're going to catch on to a spot here. Eliminates the issue, they say. Zed and that Queen Delilah. A little bit of brother-on-brother violence with the support as well. Shutdown gold actually going over to Zed here. It's a massive influx of gold going towards that mid karma, you know, get him another item. They actually want to go ahead and start Otacon. Interestingly enough, that's actually so smart, doing empowered tether plus the shield to get the drain so you don't take near as much damage. Oh, I love that. I'm writing that down. New strats for Otacon unleashed. They are going to be able to take a lot here. I mean, going to take it down rather fast here, about a half, and there's no answer from Syndicate Coke. So this is another big neutral monster seemingly going the way of the Tilted Crashouts, and they're going to love that buff with the withdraw. They might decide to make a play off of it.
Syndicate, they do the only thing they can do right now, which is get priority on this dragon right now. They can't contest the Atacon, because if they give that up, they lose that fight. They also lose this soul here. So you can see their mind control at this point, control this dragon to force this fight. So Tilted Crashouts, I think wisely so, they recognize they don't need this dragon. That's why you could see Zed pushing that top side. That's why you can see them pressuring mid as much as they can right now. But Espada
wants to pop the Ornn ultimate. Oh wow, it does look like Zed's gonna be caught here, or rather Frozen Spud's gonna be caught here. So yeah, Zed's nowhere to help him out. Push on them all. Was everybody back? You said it. Like, you know, they decided to give over that dragon, not really care about it, wanting to get some more objectives. Gets caught out and picked off. So something going back to the way of Syndicate Coke, who have the slightest of slight leads now. See if they can turn it into anything. That is the big question. Can they convert this into a actual, you know, legitimate lead?
I don't know. I don't know. I hope so. But we'll have to see. At this point right now, like, Tilted Crashouts still control the majority of the pace of this game. They just need to figure out how they want to allocate their resources, where they want to send their members. Espada. Well,
he was not looking at his screen. He was not looking at his screen. Oh no.
Oh, he flashed.
Okay, manages to get away. Has to block the flash, but Zed gets caught in 1v1. Dynamic Busters can probably take him down here. Looks to be safe for now. Zed gonna speed away. Fire back a few little magic missiles of their own. Just barely getting out. Man, I mean, we're at this, we hadn't really spoke about it, but Dynamic Busters does a considerable amount of damage at this juncture here with the Leandries and the oh god, I forgot the name. Seraph's Embrace now does a massive amount, especially with the ultimate, but not able to get the kill. And oh my goodness, this bot holding off 2 under tower. What a dodge! Out of the ultimate. Can he get it before he falls? Okay, he does get the double knock up, and he's gonna be able to get the shutdown on the 1 with the tower playing his second man. Gets 2 of them in a row. Cool guys don't look at explosions in his spot, and doesn't look at the bodies falling as he walks away. Oh my god, that's actually insane. His Frozen Spuds might be caught out here again, but no. Oh my goodness, Espada on this Ornn. 5, 1, and 2.
That's crazy. You actually just 1v2'd them. That's... wow. That is crazy. Such a good sequence. Like, 100% MVP so far. 100%. It's crazy what he's been able to do in this Ornn. Literally getting insta-counter picked. Does not matter.
Oh, man. Oh my goodness. That was just... that should not have happened.
Tilted Crashouts are in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble right now. They have a good game state, but like, you could see where things start to fall apart. If you can't kill that Ornn, and he gets that double kill right there, you've now lost bot side. You now can see the opposite side of the map too. There's just so many things that end up happening for Tilted Crashouts, and just banking on this allow, it just has not been the tech yet, has it?
No, it really hasn't, man. Like, and I mean, another thing that I really want to highlight here is I talked about it briefly earlier, but the build path for Rat Queen Delilah here is just so interesting. I mean, Navori Quick Blades and Aroa, I think it's like weird for jungle, good for top, maybe. I think I've seen this like AP hybrid volley build before, but I think like the thing is to go like, what is it, Horizon, something like that, or It might be that one or like the helmet one. I forget what that one's called.
You'll see Horizon a good chunk. Like,
maybe.
or not
Like
Horizon.
Cosmic? No.
Yeah,
what is
Cosmic.
it? Yeah. Cosmic Overdrive is. Oh, that's dead. Okay.
The Custer's dead too.
Right. We'll show them all just happening in a good spot. This is what I want to talk about though. It's like the build path for Delilah hasn't really amounted to much here in this this later stage of the game. Like it's just been farming most of the time, and when he does show up, hasn't really been super impactful past few moments. And now I'm not sure if this is what they need, you know, because like Kakalin just is not doing much of anything. I mean, has the Iceborne Black Cleaver, which would be good if, you know, Espada wasn't so far ahead. We're just not seeing the Crashouts, you know, have this team fighting presence and prowess like they have in games prior.
It's simply the champion the champion, excuse me, that they've drafted. That's really it here, and I'm glad to see that they're looking here for something. The TP is coming through though. The answer, that's a double TP.
Oh wow!
That shows you how much focus, how much attention is around.
Here comes the TP back from the Crashouts too. Yeah, it is Dragon Soul and Syndicate Coke. Rather, they do not want the Crashouts to get this soul again, like in the last game, because you know that gave them that extra damage boost that they needed to seal the deal and put the nail in the coffin. Jockeying around the position, fully as 5, a little bit spread out. Tilted Crashouts are in better position to start the dragon should it spawn. Yes, here it is, fighting over Scuttle. He saw everything. It does look like it will go the way of Coke, as you know. Espada just holding off as much of the team as possible. Survives the test of will, does not have that extended allow a passive, spawning extra tentacles going everywhere. Here comes the Oran Horn, here comes the train. Who's it going to be onto? It hits onto 3 members. Raccoon Delilah, they're all jumping in. They're trying to get on this back line. Measurable is safe. Never mind. Warsaw the Ball jumps in. Rocket Jump is great. He's away from the rest of the fight. And there's a fight in the pit, and the tentacles are out. Kakalin staying alive, actually providing some more damage. And it's a full damn ace. They only lose 2 on the side of the Crashouts, but Kakalin actually coming up clutch here, tying it up, getting the ace for the Crashouts, and they get the Dragon Soul on top of it. That was the fight they needed, Turd.
That was the fight they needed, and that was the fight that they got. Kakalin did actually we've been ragging on the guy. We got to give him a little love. He did a really good job in that team fight there.
It's the bounce special, baby.
Yeah, he created so much space for his team, and then he got into the back line. So did Frozen Spuds, so did Rat Queen Delilah, and so did We'll Show Them All. And everybody collapsed. Measurable died so quickly. Retail Row followed suit, and by that point, the fight was already over. So Tilted Crashouts just find the right angle at the right time, pull trigger, they're decisive, and make a huge play off of it.
It's just like when you look at the structure of that team fight, it should have gone the way of Syndicate Coke. But the biggest boon was literally you have 2 6'8" dunkers on you. Like you see Volibear flash, jumping, ulting in with their R. You see Kakalin on Alawi jumping in and ulting as well. And then you have Frozen Spuds also jumping in and dunking as well. The initiation comp finally paid off when it needed to most. And it's so funny because We'll Show Them All jumped away from everybody else. The fact that they got their great rocket jump onto the back line and just eviscerated and eliminated Measurable. I don't even know if Wild Growth came out from Retail Row. But all in all, it just gave the perfect factors for a 1 team fight. And just like that, Tilted Crashouts potentially could swing this back in their favor. They got Dragon Soul and Baron once again. We saw what happened when they did this the last time. They won the damn thing.
The game is now theirs. They control so much of this map, especially with this Baron now being available here. You can see them pushing it. They have 3 members in this mid lane, 1 towards that top, and at this point right now, Zed, he hasn't been able to group up. You can see him moving right now, but this side lane threat, it's now finally there for Kakalin. Espada now finally starts to struggle. The chains though, okay.
Such a big chunk. Oh, but that's so much more damage from Zed, showing you why this mid karma is to be feared. Snipes out Retail Row, who has not had the best of games on this Lulu, just has not been working for him. Now the aggression and the push into the base. They want to take some more towers. They want to get some more gold. Tilted Crashouts looking to finish this one off. Oh my god. Tristana Gaming, baby. Man.
Oh no, he's dead.
Oh no, he's dead. He's dead. Rocket jump in, and yeah, perfect auto spacing. This might be the final play. This might be the final push. This might be the final nails for Syndicate Coke here. Ornhorn comes out, but what good is it going to do when the rest of your team is dead, bruv? Spot on the last one standing will see his kingdom fall and crumble in front of him. Runs back to the base. Is going to do a routine job of it. They got a wave to work with. They have buffs to play with. They have no bodies aside from one. Ain't no way in hell this Orn is 1v5ing. I mean, retail low was there, but couldn't do much of anything. As there's the final push. There's the satchel on to the towers, blowing up in such a disgusting fashion. He wants to try to do something. Spada wants to try to hold on as long as he can, but bruv, you can't get it done. The Nexus is falling. The bodies are falling. The Crashouts are going up 2-0 here on series point.
2-0. I didn't see it. I mean, your win con in the Alawi wasn't there until 20-something minutes, and even then, you didn't really see that Alawi come online at all. But the Tristana was crazy to be able to see that piloted again the way that it was. In game 2, you didn't have that early game lead either. You got punished pretty well, honestly, from that Lulu and from that Varus, that double range bot lane. But when it came down to the team fights, they were just so well done, so well executed by them, and I don't know, like, there's not much else to say from that. It just looked like better executed game. The mid game, once it came down to it, Crow, was like night and day again. You just saw Tilted Crashouts did such a good job at controlling the mid game, setting up for neutrals. They got themselves a soul at like 25 minutes or something like that. Pretty absurd, and they gave up 6 grubs to do it, but the win con was there. Thoughts?
It's not fair.
No.
No, I mean,
No,
it was really unfortunate because Measurable was having such a good game on this Varus this time around, was doing so much work. And I mean, we talked about, you know, they had these tools to buff him up so he could carry these fights and get it done. You know, had the Lulu, had the Orianna, who were Thunder was doing so much damage on the Orianna. And it was like super dope, but like it's just that's so much dive to have to deal with, and not enough peel to get away from it all. So when they did get their proper setup, when they did get, you know, the angle they wanted, aka the dragon fight in the river, it was just because they hadn't ballooned so much of a lead to where they could, you know, afford to lose a team fight or two. It swung the other way and allowed the Crashouts to once again crash out and cash out, and now they're up 2-0.
So far, so good for them. Even it seems like at this point right now, even if you lose the early game, as long as it's not like atrociously bad, you're going to be okay. When it comes down to it, your mid game, your objective setup, all of that is dialed in. It's looking much stronger than Syndicate Coke right now when it comes to it. So that mid game is something you and I both need to pay attention to. I wonder if Syndicate Coke, if they want to draft for some sort of like mid game priority team comp, maybe something like a Lucian Nami, because Lucian's mid game is disgustingly strong. So maybe that's where you try to pick up your faults. Maybe just go back to the drawing board, figure out what we're doing wrong. Because it seemed like they were there to contest, but it almost seemed like each time that they tried, they were playing a little bit on the back foot. They were almost kind of funneling themselves into their own chokes. And then it felt like they were getting collapsed on like that quite a bit. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do here for this game 3. Your back's against the wall. It's 0-2. I hope they side swap. I hope they take red. I hope they play for like a counter pick or something like that. Or if not, have a different plan for your B1, because I don't think the Varus has worked out. Game 2, it looked good, but it wasn't there when you needed it to be there. So game 3, I hope they adapt, at least like that.
Yeah, that's going to be then. This is now, but now will become then in a little bit. Break, yeah. See you in a minute.
Philosophy.
But you stayed by my side when I said Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take us? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. As I dive in, bloodstains washing under deep down waves. A beat reaching out to keep you safe. As we fall, I can't hold on much longer. We're drifting down to the other side. Try to pull us under. Keep holding out for the other side.
We're back. Game number 3. TESC. Sync.
Right.
We see the side swap. We get it. That's what we were hoping for. Okay, so now we'll see the bans coming out here. What does TESC, what does Tilted Crashouts prioritize here? Kind of what I'm wondering. I think if the Gwen's up on the table, they're going to pick that up. Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they just choose to pick the Tristana themselves, just B1 it. They're welcome to do that. Maybe they take the Varus. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Crashouts are afraid of the Varus at all. Syndicate want to keep the Ari off the table. Yeah, they're keeping Ari off the table. I think they need to go back to banning the Karma or the Volley Bear because both of those were bans. You need to get that off the table. Do not allow Zed to play that again. But then from there, it's like, what do you prioritize? They will actually ban the Gwen. They don't. They think that's more of the threat. The last ban in this round, I'm assuming it's going to be an AD ban or a mid ban again. Crashouts, however, they're free to ban whatever. It doesn't look like they're playing with any fear at all, actually. So I'm not too worried about what they're going to be trying to pick or ban in this phase. They want to go ahead and keep the Xin Zhao off. Very, very strong jungle and decent top option as well. You just go ahead and make sure no Xin today.
Syndicate Coke, first time we're seeing them on the red side here. So I'm very curious to see how they adapt here for this game 3. In game 2, they elected just to keep the sides the same. Didn't go as they were hoping. Early game looked good, but as towards that mid game, once again, what we saw like in game number 1, it just didn't end up playing in their best of favor. I mean, at this point right now, Syndicate, I hope to see red side some nice adaptations here. The Varus priority is something that I'm wondering a bit about. So we'll see what Tilted Crashouts decides here to do with their B1. If they pick that Tristana, I don't want to see that Varus. Or if we do get the Varus, I want it to be Poke. That's what I want.
Yeah. I mean, I feel at this juncture they might want to, get off of the Varus. Put measurable on, one of his mirrors,
Okay. Look what we get though. Yeah. So it looks like the priority is going to be going on that Varus. So now the Syndicate just swap the roles. Just say, okay, we're going to take the Tristana. Tristana does just fine into that matchup if you can get through the early game. So that priority in the Tristana might rise up quite a bit here. Looks like we're going to see the Jhin though. So they're just going to match AD for AD, both very immobile too. So
yeah, this is actually very interesting. Yeah. I did not expect the Crashouts to prioritize.
Oh my.
Like that. And
that's such a kill lane. That's just a kill lane. That's definitely a Jhin Nico bot. 100%.
Yeah.
They just want to win bot.
I mean, they came close. Game number 1, not so much. Game number 2, better side for them. Game number 3, maybe this is the time. This has to be the time for Syndicate Coke, but I just did not expect that much stock into the Varus in the moment, especially with how well the Crashouts are playing with the Tristana. But hey, they want to get it done. And mobile carries, it's time for the king. So Jarvan's going to come in. Oh, wow. That's actually very terrifying. Oh, dear. Crashouts.
Yeah, that Jarvan's a great pick. That's a great pick here. We'll see what Syndicate plans to do with their R3. That Nico's more than likely going support, but you do have the option to pick up something like a TK if they go really heavy dive here with this B3. So, I don't know. We'll see exactly what they plan on doing, but yeah, you and I both like the Jarvan, I think for a good reason. A mobile carry, a mobile support, assumingly so. But it looks like we're going to get something a little bit more spicy than that. We're actually going to get a Fiddlesticks, so that's probably Fiddle support. Probably, but it could be Jarvan support too, so we'll have a little fun with that.
Honestly, yeah, they could put them anywhere at this point. We'll be the Viego to lock in for sync. Okay, I mean,
that's different.
I had an okay-ish first game on the Viego. Wasn't terrible, but didn't really influence anything, right? That's one thing with Viego. It's like you want to actually have influence on the map, and they just were not getting that. So I'm wondering if this is supposed to be a Viego in an answer to the maybe Fiddlesticks.
That Viego's being picked into the Jarvan for sure, so they're assuming that the Jarvan's going jungle. That's my best guess. Yeah, that's what I think they're assuming right now. Fiddlesticks is probably going in that support role. So we'll see exactly how that works out for them. But yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. Game 1, it wasn't bad. The Viego turned out to be okay, but unfortunately it wasn't nearly enough compared to the Gwen that was on the enemy team. And it's kind of hard. You just get outscaled, especially at that 2-item spike. You match the same 2-item spike as her, but that's not exactly a good thing. So you want to be that much more ahead, and unfortunately in that game number 1 it didn't work. Game 3 we'll see here, and what they assume is a Jarvan jungle.
Yeah, double mid ban from Sync. Crashouts are going to go ahead and get rid of that Orianna. That really was a good Orianna. I would say Thunder did a good job on the Orianna and taking away the Fiora, interestingly enough. Okay, let's see what the next grab is.
So that's Zac top.
Zac? Yeah, that's Zac top.
He could have his Chovy. He could have his Chovy like redemption arc here, because Chovy does run like Zac mid too. You could take it with Conqueror. So I just want to throw that out. I highly doubt it, but to have a little fun with it, it's possible. It is possible.
This would be crazy. This would be a crazy lock-in.
You can flex that Zac to mid. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but you can flex that Zac to mid.
No, this is a crazy lock-in. Did you see how fast they did that too?
Yeah, they love it. It makes sense too. Urgot absolutely shreds Zac. There's no way you wouldn't.
There's no way. Yeah, there's no way you can put him top now. Oh my goodness.
E5. Like this is a really spicy draft actually.
They're going crazy for this one.
I didn't have Fiddlesticks on my bingo card. I'll tell you that.
Oh.
Quay. Okay, so that tells you that Hui's mid. It's just, is Jarvan jungle or support? It's probably Jarvan jungle. I feel pretty confident with that.
Yeah, I'm assuming Jarvan jungle at this point.
R5. Syndicate now on red side for the first time here. Game 3, do or die R5. Their final pick.
What's the mix?
What is it going to be? Aurora.
Okay.
Is that locked? Okay, I like Aurora Zac a lot. You have a lot of dive potential. You can blow somebody up for sure. Viego can follow up. Nico has good like dive and access into the backline, so maybe there's a bunch of angles there, and then Jhin has that follow up with the range. So Syndicate's
Kurt? Oh my God, no!
No, like,
okay.
Can you hear me?
Bro.
That's so sad. My computer just does that.
I seriously thought you just got banished to the Shadow Realm there, man. That was crazy.
That would have been, I wish. No, I don't know if you heard my point there, but basically, Urgot into Zach, that's going to be a problem. But Syndicate's drafted a good comp. That's it. That's all I was going to say.
That's it. Yeah, that's all. This is so... They really brought out everything for this here game 3, my brother.
Mm-hmm. You might as well. You got nothing to lose. Both teams, I mean... Tilted Crashouts, you're in a great spot. So, I mean, you can afford the luxury, and by no means am I suggesting it, but you have the luxury of picking those champions that you maybe wouldn't have picked before. So Fiddlesticks, which what you and I both assume is going to be in that support role, we'll see how well that pilots into that Nico. Like, Jin Nico into Varus Fiddlesticks is not something I expected to see, so... Both junglers probably pathing bot. Once again, you can assume so much attention being put there, and in isolation, this Urgot's going to have that advantage on Zac, and then Hui and Aurora, I'm curious to see how that goes too, but bot side is everything, I think.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like, the past 3 games really has been decided by like how well the bot lane plays for either side. I mean, it's just a lot of the jungler intervention does, you know, factor into that as well, and now we're having that tall order of, I mean, these compositions are a little wacky for people to not normally tune in, but this is a decent amount of comfort for the side of the Crashouts. And
do we, I'm gonna bug Ice right now, do we have confirmation on where the Jarvan and the Fiddle is going? Okay, so it is Jarvan jungle. So we do know that. You and I both assumed it was, but I just wanted to double check, because you can run Jarvan support with Airy. You can do something like that, max your E. It's actually kind of sort of pretty viable. I don't know how well it'd do into the Nico, but okay. Fiddlestick support, Jarvan jungle. Spicy.
I can't even remember the last time I like saw or talked about a Fiddlestick support.
Honestly, I can tell you, it was before he got reworked. You remember his old E, like the crow that would bounce in silence?
So the
you remember that? Yeah. That's when it was like sort of viable. That was when he had point and click fear too on his Q.
Point and click on the fear.
Yeah, literally 2 point and click, 3 point and click abilities, because he had his W too.
Crow was silent.
3 point and clicks.
Yeah.
That was the last time I saw Fiddlestick support.
Man, that was crazy. Oh my goodness, I miss old support Shin. I had abused that to gold. I can't even.
That is, it's still kind of viable. You can still.
It is, but it's completely different. I mean, you take a lot more punishment. Like, he was just so.
Are you talking like old Shem where his shuriken thingy was a Q? Like point and click?
Yeah.
Like point and click? Okay, yeah, that's old. That's old too.
Pre-rework Shin. That was so fun. You just ridiculous amount of poke for no reason.
It's kind of neat, because you look back on some champions where their mechanics have been changed, but then you look at others where they just nailed it. Like Jarvan, I don't think has been changed once. I think there's been a couple little minor things that they've done, but they did a really good job with Jarvan's kit, I think. Like he's a textbook league champ.
Yeah. Can't really say the same for Urgot or Fiddlesticks there.
Urgot's a bad boy now, man. After that rework, you remember the old Urgot too?
Bro, I missed the position reverser.
You remember his ultimate, the most useless
it was so dumb. It was so dumb, but like, you pull out some of the best cheese with it.
You literally just kill yourself to kill the enemy AD.
Exactly. Unless you went, AP Urgot and like rush Zanya, so you like in Zanya's and then come out and have Rylai's with Rod of Ages. So like,
oh my god,
slow with your auto lock Q, because every time your Q would hit, it would slow them plus the ice slow.
They kind of did the same thing with Zac, because you remember they reworked Zac a while ago where they made his ultimate could like abduct people. And like he could take the whole team and pull them back. I kind of find it funny when they do something like that with the champion, and then they revert the rework that they did and pretty much bring back the old champ. Like they did that with LeBlanc too. I don't know if you remember the old LeBlanc, where he used to be like W onto a wave, and then there's this passive, and it'd go like this, and it'd take like 2 seconds.
The shadow orb,
you'd actually have wave clear on LeBlanc. It was like the weirdest thing.
Yeah, they decided, hey, we should not let this AP assassin have wave clear. So
yeah, pretty much. It was like the weirdest thing too.
LeBlanc is one of my most played champions. Like she was just so fun all the time, and like I remember the first time they reworked her when it was a whole multiple mages got reworked. They changed Cassiopeia to, because I remember it was Rise, LeBlanc, Cassiopeia, Brand, and like 2 others they changed and gave or changed disabilities rather, and it was like part of like the new season or whatever, and it was like half of these changes aren't even, more than half of these changes aren't even in the game anymore, because Rise got another full-scale rework like after that change.
Yeah. What do you think of the Nico rework too?
It worked.
That one was a weird one. I like it. At the end of the day, I like it, but I'll tell you, it's annoying. The mechanic of Nico where you can turn into a minion, like you got to count every single minion.
That
wave.
was so
crazy.
fun. That first week, people were
nobody knew.
Were just killing themselves. It was ridiculous.
Oh, I got a free minion. Not so much.
Psych.
Oh, not so much.
It was so fun. But no, the Urgot change, I remember as a dedicated top lane man for the longest time. I just remember them changing my boy, and I was like, actually, he's cool now.
Some champions are just like tried and true as well. Like Varus has always been like, as far as I played like competitive for like 10 years, it feels like 70-80% of those years, 7-8, have been like Varus first pick. It's like no matter what, you can always pick Varus.
Look, when he's good, he's good. Simple as that. When Varus is good, Varus is good. That is a majority of the time. But yeah, it's just very, very interesting, like the differences in like complete reworks and just like graphical overhauls and just tiny little move changes.
I wonder if he went poke this game. I kind of hope he did. I kind of hope he did.
He can afford to, for sure.
I think the comment here is going to help you out a lot into a Jin Nico. So game 1 and game 2, we saw the lethal tempo. It's fine. Lethal tempo is fine, but I feel like there's some games where that lethality is just, it has so much more value, and I think this is one of those games right here.
Okay.
Way into Aurora too. We'll pay attention to this. I think it's just gonna be a lot of wave clear though, Crow. But really, you want to see what laner moves, if any laner moves. It's probably going to be Aurora. I assume that Syndicate's going to try to look to impact as many of the sides as they can with that pick. In a way, it's just going to be constantly perma pushing. And the one thing you never want to do when you're mid too, you never want to roam on a cannon wave. Anytime, if you don't know, cannons absolutely shred turret plates. And when you roam on a cannon wave in mid, there's actually less of a debuff, so it actually does more damage on the turrets. So one thing like that, Hui can stay in lane all day if it's a cannon wave and take 2 plates guaranteed every time. It's absurdly strong. So we'll see if those like roam timers come in clutch here or not for that Aurora. But overall, this is a really spicy game 3 draft, something you and I both did not expect at all.
Yeah. Yup. It's do or die time here for Syndicate Coke. So to Crashouts, just keep it together, push it through one more, and they're going on to the next round in playoffs. Super exciting to see. And I mean, honestly, I got no idea. I cannot call this one. 2 very strange team compositions rolling out onto the Rift here for game number 3.
Oh my! Why?
Series.
Why?
No showmanship.
I don't know. I'd be all chatting.
Immediately.
Just say why. Put a little sad face on there.
Touch.
Just a 5-point though, Crow. Yeah. Not too surprising. Game 3. Down 2-0, Syndicate. Drafted themselves a really strong bot lane. Game 2, they did a great job. The double range, they were pressuring consistently. Very difficult for the Tristana and the Rel in that game to be able to do much of anything in that early game. And in game number 3, they've indexed entirely into controlling this bot side. So pay very close attention to this lane.
We'll have to. Okay. Interesting compositions. Like you said, this very much damage focused kill lane, honestly on both sides, but more so with the Jin, with the Nico. Let's see what they can get done, but we'll show them all. Now piloting the Varus after 2 games of Tristana duty. I think he'll do pretty fine. He's pretty darn good here on this marksman.
just about absorbing this early pressure. You just can't match the wave clear that the Jhin and the Nico both have. And at this point, you need to concede it. And they haven't lost too much when it comes to their HP. A trade like this can cost them quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's a little unfortunate now. With both junglers pathing towards bot side, you want to be in a good condition where you can force those fights. You also took that aftershock on the Fiddlesticks, so you're not applying any pressure from the poke, which you don't have much to begin with. So that all-in really is everything in this bot lane for tilted Crashouts, and right now they're not in the best conditions to find that.
It's a little tense here. I'm really, once again, I'm tracking the junglers to see if they're going to be at early on as, oh my god. We talked about the top lane matchup. We knew how it was going. Colin is in the comfort zone here on this Urgot, especially against the Zac. Nothing you can do, especially this early on. I mean, maybe if they get some help from Mist, even then, it's hard. Order. Super difficult to get done. Let's see how long he can survive.
Both junglers are down towards his bot right now. Jarvan is here first, though.
The cleanse? Okay, already burnt. Looks like they want to try to go for something here, yeah? Potentially getting on to Retail Road here. Does flash, does get slow, though. And there's the potential first blood. No, they're out of range. Oh my god, it was so close. Flash Q in. Mist gets it. Steals the soul to Jarvan for the double. That's the standard. No. That's 3 kills immediately over to the Syndicate Coke lineup. What
it looked a little overforced, Crow, but I didn't think it was that bad. As soon as I don't know for sure, but I think Rat Queen Delilah might have tanked a turret shot there, but too far regardless. They end up getting cleaned up, and both junglers were padding down to that bot side. Jarvan was there first, but they weren't able to capitalize. Gave Mist enough time to be able to get there, clean things up, and now he's 2-0, looking really strong. Measurable got a kill off that too. So AD and jungle are already off to the races, and Syndicate's in a really good spot here early on.
Oh my goodness. Immediate feat of warfare too, by the way. Immediate grab off of that. Man, it was so close good, for the Crashouts, and oh man. It feels bad, man, if you're a spotter. Jesus. That's what is so
he's kind of tiny right now.
Yeah, but here's Mist on the backside just to leave some pressure, rather. Not really any kills they could potentially go for as well. They do want to try here. He does have double buffs. But Mist could get some meaningful damage onto the call-in here. But also look at the backside. Here comes Dracula Delilah. Perfect throw on the E. Oh no, you're not getting away. And the gold goes over to Colin. Oh dear God, that's not good.
The gold and the doubles, Crow. And the doubles.
Spada man, I'm so sorry. I know you want to help, but
he's so screwed. He's so screwed right on top.
Ooh,
oh no. That man needs more than a motivational speech right now.
A lot more is yeah. Thunder gets caught here. Could be chased down. Luckily, it's on the red side, so can escape into the jungle. As there's the official kill going over. The Spada will fall, and now Kakalin double buffed up. Got the kill too. Got some more gold in him. Feeling real great this early on.
This is your win con. It's already been established 5 minutes in. Frozen Spuds almost gets hit with that root. Probably wouldn't have killed, but definitely forced him to reset there. He might be able to stay now, heal things up, and tilted Crashouts. You have such a strong top side right now. You could see Kakalin resetting. How much gold does he have? He's going to spend so much of it right here. Picks up that Phage. That's nice. Is that it? I feel like he should have more gold right now. So we'll have to see when he ends up TPing back to the lane. But, that's scary right now.
He's waiting for something.
There you go, Swifty's there. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay. Oh yeah, a decent chunky buy going on for Kakalin here.
Espada has a ruby crystal in tier 1 boots.
And that's some hopes and some dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. He is in a lot of trouble, and Jarvan's also towards his top side. It's nice. Tilted Crashouts have recognized this. They just need to not bleed too much bot side. You can see how chunked they're getting over and over, and Measurable and Retail Road doing a really good job on this pick in this bot lane. This is all about poke, all about pressuring your enemy off and getting as many plates as you can. So far, so good.
Yup, is looking to do a little bit more poke damage here. Man, this bot lane is so interesting because like the moments in which you would try to expect the Crashouts to get in some meaningful trades and whatnot just aren't there. As I mean, Measurable and Row are just doing a great job of keeping them stuck on their tower, can't even really back successfully. Is I mean, we'll show them all. Going looking to build into Metamune first with that tier start, so it doesn't really have to damage the fight. Meanwhile, Measurable sitting on a Dirk.
Bot side's on just such an island in this game right now, and honestly, I think it's the right call from the Crashouts. I think it's smart to focus as much attention as you can towards that top side. Already got that first set of Void Grubs. Getting second set puts you in a really good spot. You have half decent siege with that Wei and that Varus too. So we'll see if they can continue to keep this pressure up. I mean, Kakalin's just in such a good spot that we didn't see him get into in game 2 at all.
Man, this is a different look from the Cola lineup right now. They're really being more aggressive. They're trying to, you know, keep that lead off. It was Measurable so unafraid stepping up, landing that 4 shot. It's nasty. I'm a little bit scared of them once they hit 6. Yeah, once they hit 6 for the Crashouts lineup, because they have 2 very, very potent go buttons. One just takes a little bit more time to set up, but can be influenced by the other, if anything. Like, I mean, you can channel Fiddlesticks ult and Varus ult and make them work together. We'll show them all. Dodge off of 1. Stays alive. I think the Aftershock proc actually helped out there to keep Frozen Spuds up above health too.
Yeah, Syndicate too, very smart here. They use their ultimate there on the Jhin just to try to chunk as much as they can. Immediately recognize that it's now not their timer, take the reset, and now they're very disciplined here. Retail Row can actually sit here with his ult available. Mist is around the area, but it's a lot of discipline there from Syndicate's bot side, and it's smart. They need that because their top is so doomed right now.
It's just a little bit, yeah. I would say focus efforts everywhere else. Try to get those other lanes ahead, push the tempo on some objectives even. Don't even worry about top. I mean, Spada knows what they have to deal with anyway. So definitely need Mist to be more of a presence in the mid and bot lanes here. I can, you know, get that snowball rolling and just start to win this, because they have to win this. This is, you know, this is match point. And like, yes, the Crashouts are a little bit behind here, but we've seen them be a little bit behind before and turn it right on its head once it gets even and push further ahead. So who's to say they won't do that here? To be determined.
It feels tricky as a spotty. I don't even think you could do that. You can't.
Oh dear. Flashing in for it. Might have bitten off a little bit more than can chew. Perfect timing for level 6 for Spada to burn the ult of their own to prevent that execution from happening. And now, a little bit of danger here for Kakolin.
Doesn't seem to think he's in too much trouble. Constantly applying this pressure here on a Spada. And I feel like once again, this Urgot has quite a bit of gold. He's probably going to want to get his reset in soon, has a TP. You do see Mist channel up the stun, but chooses not to go.
Okay, they want to get on here to Raccoon Delilah, but no, they're pushing him away as best they can. Oh my god, nice jump out, barely in, but he goes back in? That's actually insane, knowing the limits of their health, of their cooldowns, of their mana, managing to get that kill. Wow, actually crazy.
Spada does lose his passive here to Kakolin. Unfortunately, the Urgot's not able to get that kill. I think the minion wave prevents a lot of those blocks from going down, and they seem to be a bit tankier than last time too. So I think wisely so, the Urgot's just going to move down towards his mid lane. Hopefully he gets his reset in though here soon. The dragon is being started here. Syndicate not in a good spot to be able to contest it all here. Do see the flank here from Frozen Spuds too. But nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Just another dragon. I don't know how many dragons Syndicate has got in this series, but it's not a lot. It might be 2.
It might be 2 total, I want to say.
It's not a lot. Until the Crashouts are doing exactly what they've done in Game 1 and Game 2 here. Put themselves in a great spot. Good ult, good damage.
Yup. In a perfect spot here in the bush. Who takes it for who? Oh my god! We'll show the ball doesn't take it for his boy. having to force them away. They have a wave though, so yeah, they can afford to lose it, I suppose.
Measurable Retail Row are doing what they can. They're applying as much pressure as possible. I don't know how many plates that they've gotten. I actually forgot to look down their bot side, but they need to get out of this lane as soon as they can because Espada and Kakalin, this is just so lopsided at this point. That Black Cleaver being completed, if you thought it was hard before, now it's pretty much doomed. So you need to pretty much take the L, sack the loss up towards that top side, and keep hammering bot. Hopefully you can get this turret before top goes down or before anything else really major happens on this top side in general.
Yeah, and I mean, here comes the cavalry. Maybe this time around Mist can make something work. I say that as he is sitting on a ward. Zed is over there. So is the other. Basically, yeah, okay. Multiple members of the squad are here. Can Kakalin survive? Oh no, they backed away. This is awkward now. Wow. This is gonna get the onus, yep, to get a shutdown for Thunder McBusters, and the fight is still on. It's still a 3v3. There's the Fiddlesticks ulti. Frozen Spuds making the call, making the play happen. They want more bodies, they want more gold. They're trying to go on the Mist now. Who is exhausted, can't get away. Will actually, the last tick of the red buff, not enough to take him out. Just barely surviving, as the spotter will aid in his escape. It's a 1-for-1 trade at the end of it all. Oh my goodness.
It's actually crazy Syndicate managed to make that happen the way that they did. Genuinely impressed. Ganking Kakalin feels like pretty much a doomed mission from the start, and it definitely was not. Good chunk here. Little surprised we didn't see the ult, but looks like the TP was called out here.
This is interesting. This is interesting because they will spot this out. Tilted Crashouts know exactly what's coming. Kakalin just wanted to come back up as bro. Run up and be like, hey, dude, can I just stay here for just a minute? They're trying to jump me right now.
The lane assignments are so tricky here for Syndicate. I think they needed to send that Aurora topside with that TP because they're just losing this first brick already with no contest at all. So I feel like that TP needed to be burned there by Thunder McBusters to be able to prevent that from going down, and Syndicate trying to find something from it.
Do they want this? There's the Ignite also cast. Retail Row really wanted them to take him down, but not going to be near the case. Uh-oh, they will get the catch, force the flash out of Frozen Buds. Not going to get anything though, but yeah, first brick will go the way of Tilted Crashouts.
Yeah, honestly, just a bit of an oversight there from Syndicate. I feel like we could have covered that. We matched the TP down bot side, so TP for TP. No kills were established, but Hui was just hammering the top side turret, and no TP in response guarantees that first turret going down. 6 grubs too. So Tilted Crashouts is in a really good spot to continue to be able to siege up all of these turrets here. The outers are still free, so they're standing gold here for the side of Tilted 2. So lots of agency that they have in this game here. Beautiful fiddle ult too from Frozen Spuds. We talked a little bit about that in that fight, but it happens so quickly, and that's exactly what you need to see from something like a Fiddlestick support, which pretty nice curveball to be able to see. He's piloting it quite well so far.
Yep, so far so good. Man, every single game that these two have had, it's just been so even. And I mean, it just feels like everything's on a knife's edge. Like it can swing into either's favor in literally just one interaction, and you can see it all across the map, right? Like looking at the gold, looking at the CS, looking at the items, even it's just all it takes is one moment, and this one moment could be right here as Retail Row is caught. Also though, they burn the fiddle ulti, but the flash out immediately. Retail Row flash E to get away. Speaking of flash E, Kakalin, yeah, you're not getting away this time, little bunny. Thunder McBusters gets taken out and put into the meat grinder. Hope you like Ground Rabbit.
Another solo kill. Kakalin burning that flash in the process, still gets a flash out from Aurora and gets a kill. So puts you in a really good spot here. Just that much more gold going into this Urgot, which really has no answer from the side of Syndicate at all. So we'll see exactly what they decide to do here. So far they're jockeying for this dragon.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how many matches have been swayed by these dragon fights, and Tilted Crashouts' complete control of monster objectives this series have been, one of their biggest win conditions, and it looks to be continuing that trend now as they take their 3rd unique dragon of this game, the first one of this rift change. So will be a mountain rift going on forward. Syndicate, I'm sorry, Syndicate Coke would definitely like to get, you know, multiple Mountain Drakes to bolster up their defenses a bit because the team is quite squishy. Yeah, you have a Zac up there, but he gets mauled and shredded immediately. Not a lot of, no real front line at all to be had for this Coke lineup. Whereas the Crashouts, I mean, Jarvan can go tanky. I mean, he has the Eclipse right now, so you can just build Eclipse in a straight tank. Support Phil 6 gets rather tanky. And then, I mean, Urgot, you know, big boss vibes in general. So just something else that lends the complexion of these compositions.
Just after 20 minutes, Dragon Soul once again going to be available for Crashouts. Put themselves in the exact position they were in Game 1 and in Game 2. So, obviously they've got their mid-game dialed in here. All about the execution now, just cleaning things up here. In 4 minutes, that's your timer to force whatever fight that you want. Right now, we can see a bit of an engaged topside here, though. Instead, almost going down, Crow.
Interesting that they back off here. I mean, I guess they know that, you know, the rest of the team is there to take Herald, so most Thunderbusters call to just chunk them and get away. Doesn't want to overforce and risk a gank and him dying. But yeah, another objective, though, for Crashouts. Yay!
Just clean. Honestly, just very methodical, very clean.
It's a bit of a slow chokeout, you know. Like they're not really forcing big team fights. As oh man, could call and take a few too many tower shots. Could potentially go down here. No shot. It will be just a passive though, but might give him enough speed to escape. Maybe missed. Oh, we can blunder this. Oh, we can blunder this. Oh, Frozen Spuds. Ooh, saving his buddy's life.
Right place at the right time.
Yeah, flash for ult too, so not too much loss on the side of Crashouts side.
Yeah, Syndicate, I mean, missed, ended up burning his flash there, so 100%. That's a great call there from Frozen Spuds, just in the right spot at the right time. Pulls trigger with the ult, and he deters the kill. The most important thing here. We'll show them all.
Oh, ooh, fancy feet, got the blue suede shoes on. Dodges out from the stun from Mist. Fortunately, the tower will fall. But hey, you still got your life.
Great job, Syndicate. They grouped up, found the angle to be able to take that tier 1 mid, and now that opens up the map just that much more. The next 2.5 minutes are crucial for them. If Tilted Crashouts get a dragon that's Mountain Soul, like I don't know how you end up clawing back as Syndicate. I really don't.
Yeah.
Like Mountain Soul to me is pretty much a deal breaker here in this game.
I mean,
the one angle you might be able to make an argument for is play for the Elder. Fair enough. Maybe you flip it and win like that, but very, very, very unlikely here. So, Tilted Crashouts have all those angles that they want. They don't have to play for this Dragon Soul, but if they want, they can. And
yeah, Spada.
Yeah,
feeling the heat. Colin is definitely chilling right now. I mean, look at the river. It has the effigy there from Frozen Spuds, but Frozen Spuds is also just in the area, so very protective. Oh yeah, Spot is caught again. Tries to get out with the E, get some distance measurable. As both ultimates were used for this, might have been a little bit of overkill. As yeah, flash, forward shot, ignite. You're going down. Frozen Spuds will fall. The TP is called. We'll show them all. Has been doing their best to dodge out on all these skill shots. Looks like a fight in mid is the name of the game, as here comes Aurora jumping into the Veil. Wants to try to get onto Zed. Will connect, but the chains of corruption from We'll Show Them All preventing anything further. Oh my god, that's so many grubs. That's so much damage, and the Herald too, right? That is everything. Voidborn blown to take 2 towers. And I believe, I don't know, they didn't get inhib, but we'll expose that inhib and allow, you know, a minion away to fall, but now they're on their retreat. Can Colin get out? No, he will be caught. Does flash, actually. So much committed. All 5 are down here now for Syndicate. They want to run them down. They want to chase this. A little bit of an overcommit, a little bit of an overchase, but they will get the Crashouts out of their side of the rift.
Resets now begin. Everybody spends their gold that they have, get back on the map, and get ready for this dragon. You can see Mist, he decides to stay. He's going to just push in here, take whatever river control he can in the process, and this dragon's up in 10 seconds. You can see 4 members of Crashouts right now moving out to be able to contest this, but they don't have river priority yet. All about your mid-prio, getting that wave pushed in, and contesting, not funneling into chokes, and trying to space yourself out.
This is interesting. Giving up mid prio here and giving up positioning around the Mountain Drake. Remember, this is sole point for the Crashouts. So they're forcing Syndicate to make a decision. Fight for this dragon or potentially lose 2 towers as Spada actually jumps in. Here comes a Pop Blossom. Is tagged on to 2, but if the damage falls through there, I think not. I think the Crashouts are just going to crash out and do some damage. That is 4 bodies popped immediately. Make it 5 for a full ace. They said the choice is yours and you have chosen death for your transgressions. It's an ace. It's a soul. Like all the games before, it's Tilted Crashouts taking everything their hearts desire.
Yeah, gonna pick up a mid-tier 1 off the back of this too. Still have some timers with those deaths being down, so more damage at least on this mid-tier 2. Atacon taken for your troubles. Get your reset, get back onto the map, set up topside, and close the game out. It's that easy now, Crow.
It really is. It's just taking everything but the Baron. Baron hasn't even spawned yet. We're not even at the point where Baron has spawned yet, but they've taken everything else on the map. That's how far ahead these Crashouts are now.
I'm trying to think about how Syndicate gets back into this game. The position that they're in right now is so difficult to deal with. That Mountain Soul makes things that much harder. And we need to like overload a side lane by like 3 members. We need to have like a 3-member advantage, I think, to even have a chance at killing. And that's kind of a problem. Because a lot of the map, unfortunately, you just don't control right now. Whatever wards you get placed, it will inevitably be cleared. So finding those angles is crucial. Retail Row, though, could be caught out. Definitely caught. It's hard. You try to find those windows, but they're just not there. And you're trying to be proactive, but you're almost delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, and they're just knocking on the door right now. They're trying to sell you the cookies. Syndicate are being a little funny with it. And doing a little dance.
Don't do it. Why? They always do that. You can't just dance.
You really can't.
They don't allow it. Here we go.
Let's do one last gasp, one last ditch effort. Unfortunately, though, Syndicate are too far behind to even make any sort of meaningful damage. It would take a big blunder from the Crashouts, and even still, they have the Otacon buff for at least another few moments, so they can just fight and just take a false life, if anything, and they'll just withdraw. Like they will decide to push forward together. The waves are starting to come. The waves are starting to crash in. Bot inhibitors exposed. They want to jump on here to Delilah, but they're jumping over. It's both Frozen and it is Kakalin jumping straight in. You're dead. You're done. You're gone. Syndicate Coke, the squad falling right in front of their eyes. There's no more time to defend, no more time to try, only time to die. And it looks like the Tilted Crashouts are putting the finishing touches on it, taking this series a 3-0 sweep. See you next week, babes. Into the next round.
Here I am thinking it's going to be like a midnight type of deal, like best of 5, absolute slugfest.
You were wrong.
And we actually ended this series quicker than our best of 3s. So, if that doesn't tell you just how decisive this game was, I don't know really what does. Because, like, game one was pretty impressive. Game 2, I think you really got to see their team come alive. Because in game 2, they were down quite a bit. Their Alawi split push, it just wasn't the win con. You were 0-5 at one point. So, the fact that you're able to wrangle things up, get all the objectives like you do there in game 2, I think it pretty much sealed the deal for me. In my head for game 3, it felt like no matter what happened, as long as you don't egregiously in your early game, you're going to clean things up in mid, and that's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you're damn right. That's exactly what they did. They got it done, and man, I think Tilted Crashouts the most played, or the team that's the most games that we've casted.
I think so. I think we've cast them like 3 times now.
Yeah, we've gotten familiar, real familiar with them. They're kind of good. They're kind of great here. They're playing with substitutes tonight, I believe, if I remember correctly.
I think they were too.
Man, that's impressive. What a squad. Tarek's going to take a little quick trip to the Shadow Realm. He'll be right back. But
It happened again.
It's okay. It's okay. They're pulling you to the other side.
I'm here. There we go. Okay. Oh, no, not quite.
Not quite, but sort of. But yeah, incredible victory from.
Honestly, though, it really was, wasn't it? Syndicate Coke, like, they look good at sometimes, but there's a lot of points where you could just tell there's a lot of inefficiencies, like in their decision making, how they wanted to play team fights. Like, even if you rewatch some of those dragon setups and whatnot, you can actually see a lot of the times they're not taking the space that's given to them. They're actually funneling themselves back into chokes. And you saw that like time and time and time again. And I think that's like one of the biggest problems that they had. You can rewatch team fights from game 1, game 2, and game 3 where they do the exact same thing every time that they try to contest the dragon. So I think they just need to take more space in the river, not bunch up, funnel yourself into a choke, and then I think you could find some angles with proper team fights. But to me, yeah, it feels like they're just not pushing up and not getting the space they need to be able to take. And at that point, you can't set things up for your team. There's just no formation. There's no front to back. There's no tanks in the front, carries and supports in the back. It's like there's just none of that. So that's the biggest thing that really occurred to me.
You'd be correct. You'd be correct indeed. Well, this is the Tilted Crashouts moving on to the semifinals next week. So
that's it. Like, I guess so. We might even end up seeing them in the finals.
Look, with the momentum that they have, they're doing just great. They're doing just fine. There's a high potential. We could see them go all the way to the championship on the 17th. Man, they're so good. They're so good. They're so great. Great even.
Good. I'll give it to them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. You know what else is pretty good? Zen Market, baby. Woo! Your one-stop solution for buying product directly from Japan. Of course, you know how to get there. Check the panel below the stream or click the link in chat. Try them out. If you sign up now with the promo code Aegis, all caps, baby, you get 1,000 yen off your first international shipping fee. Go ahead and shop from over 10,000 different shops in Japan, as well as place bids on auctions on your behalf. Zen Market will do that for you. Even consolidate and package everything up into a nice big old box for international shipping just for you. Provide excellent customer service, once again, in 19 languages, which is why they are trusted and used by over 2 million users worldwide. Zen Market, get at them. You know how to find them. You know how to find us. That was the spiel for the day. Any last thoughts, Turk, before we send them on their merry way?
Semifinals already, Crow. That's what I'll say. We're already into the semis. It's kind of crazy how quickly these Aegis splits go. So it's a pleasure to be able to cast it with you. It's great to be able to have Ice here. Takes good care of the guys. Make sure that we're always on track. He doesn't let us slack off. So he's a good boss. He's a good boss man. And thanks to everybody else who watches. Of course, all the team behind here who also makes things happen. So it's a pleasure to be able to do this. Now's really where you get dialed in, because it's do or die. You have no choice. It's best of 5. You pull out all the stops that you can, and this is where you leave it all in the Rift. So congratulations, 100% goes out to the Crashouts. They played awesome. Quick 3-0, 9:30 my time. I'm done. I can go to bed if I want. And they did exactly what they needed to do here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle themselves in the semifinals and probably the finals.
Yeah, but they keep this momentum up. They might as well punch their ticket automatically. It's going to be great. I'm going to be there. Turk's going to be there. Ice going to be there. I hope y'all are going to be there. But that's going to be it for us tonight. Have a wonderful and safe night. See you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Quick shout out to ProComps, our sponsor and a game changer app for the League community. This isn't just like the other tools. It's your personal draft coach, perfect for both teams.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。